Intro Ryan, welcome. Jay, welcome. Diane Foreman, welcome. Kay Harris, welcome. I know I'm reading the names that's on the screen. Melissa, welcome. I'm so grateful. We have quite a show today, and we're so excited to have our celebrity author, Dr. Forbes Riley herself, show up live. And it's always great because she always comes with great prizes too, right? So she threw out a really great prize for the authors, and now she's gonna be giving out. We know she's gonna do something special for you guys today, so we're excited that you're here, and I look forward to sharing my chapter just as well as the other authors, what our chapter is about. So let me introduce my co-host, Dr. Olga Kamina, whose birthday is today. Happy
Wow.
birthday, Olga!
Happy
Happy
birthday!
Thank
birthday.
you, Diane.
Olga, what do you want to say? You want to say hi before we get this, before we
Oh,
kick this off?
see, my brother is calling. Oh my goodness. Ay, 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 ay. Wait. Okay.
Okay,
Are we
so
recording this? Are we recording this?
Yes, we are recording.
Olga, hit record, Olga, because I don't think it's recording on Zoom.
My Fatum is recording, but
Can you do Zoom?
yes.
Thank you, Minerva.
This meeting is being recorded.
We need backup here. Irene, good to see you, Irene. Abby's finally on camera. Good to see you, Abby.
Everybody, I lost my voice, so
Yeah, we're all struggling with the voice and the cold and everything else.
yeah.
I just want to pray that everyone stays safe this weekend. The ones who is in dealing with this snowstorm that's coming. They said it's the worst in what 10 years.
Wow.
Yes.
So it's
In Canada too. Extreme cold.
extreme cold. So yeah, so guys, it's Olga's birthday. So my songstress is not here, which is Miriam. Who else? Who could sing Happy Birthday?
I can sing it for you, baby.
All right.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
Happy
Olga. Happy birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Woo!
Thank
So
you.
Olga is celebrating her milestone, a milestone,
Yes.
50. And when she said she was 50, I was like, you're 50. I thought she was like, well, I knew she would be in her 40s.
26.
Yes, of course. Of course.
I thought you would be like 45 or something like that, but 50. So Olga, you look amazing.
Thank
And you're
you.
doing a lot of amazing things. So we really appreciate you. Thank you. Hi, Dawn. Good to see you, Dawn. Good to see you, Carrie. Jean, good to see you. Thanks for joining. I see an iPhone 8. So if you can put your name on your screen, you could, change your name to who you are. And guys, today I want to say I am so excited because our last anthology, which is what's the name of it? I forget. Ascend Beyond Limits was 12 authors, and now we're doubles. This one in 4 months we doubled the participants to 24 authors, and it included our celebrity author Dr. Forbes Riley, and a foreword from the man himself, Les Brown. Well, I reached out to Les Brown. He might pop in, so I don't know. I'm not sure. But I reached out again this morning. He said it's a maybe. So I gave him a link to join in, and I said, feel free to join in at any time you wish. So I'm truly excited about today. And first of all, I want to say thanks to Divine for allowing me this opportunity to do this. It's a vision that came to me about 5 years ago. And now it's been ongoing. We see so many things happening. And this year, 2026, my word is breakthrough. And I know each of you all have your word. And I want your word to mean something. I spoke to Gigi this morning. Her word is impact. Okay. I don't know what all your what who's if every one of you have a word, but I would say whatever word you have, put your word in the chat and let's put life into that word. Let's breathe life into that word. Okay. Sandra said action. Okay. Who else we have? Sovereignty. Marianne. Yes. Great word. Activation. Growth. Delegation. Yes, Sandy. Delegation is a good word. Truth. Clay. Yes. Delight.
Bobby.
Trust. Yes. Okay. Soar. Faithfulness. Okay. So, okay.
Diane, Diane, sorry for interrupting. I'm going to mute everybody and then I'm going to unmute you, okay?
Okay.
But you couldn't answer it.
Okay, sorry about that. This is why we usually have to mute all because it gets a little distracting. So yes, we have perseverance. So there's lots of wonderful words that we chose to embody for 2026. And I pray and ask God that we all be blessed with all that He wants us to be blessed with. I know sometimes it gets a little frustrating, but that's life. Okay? We sometimes we want things when we want it. And God says, I will give it to you when you need it. Because if you get it before our time, it becomes a curse. So yes, so 2025 for me, my word was trust. And it was a foundational word for me. I we just and I tell you, God revealed so much. And this year, the word breakthrough came, and God has shown me so many blessings. Even up until yesterday, every day He showed me blessings, but yesterday was a big one when my phone rang and I saw Forbes Riley. Now I communicate with Forbes via email or in person when I go to an event. But when she called your phone and she says, I want you to win, that means a lot to me. And for me, it's like I want to pour that right back out to each and every one of you on the screen this morning. Whatever your word is, whatever you're seeking for 2026 and beyond, I wish it for you. It's yours. Claim it. I just had to share that. So thank you. Carrie, I see you, but I see you sitting in a hole. You gotta lift your head up a little bit, Carrie. Nice, nice. A little more. Awesome. Marissa, good to see you. So guys, Forbes is gonna be on live and we have a full agenda. So there's lots of prizes to win today, and a lot of the authors will be sharing their message. And we also have a lot of authors who couldn't be here, so we're going to hold space for them. Hortensia is not feeling well. She's down laying in bed with the flu. Chrislyn, she's not here yet, but yesterday I spoke to her. Her blood pressure spiked. She's here? Okay, so maybe I didn't see it. So Chrislyn, you're here? Good. I'm glad you made it. Okay. And but we have Najah, she's in the ICU with her dad. And Hillary, she's dealing with a family emergency. So a few of us was unable to make it. Queenie is here, but she's unable to speak. She's been struggling with her voice. Okay. So there's lots going on, not just with us personally, but within our families. Okay, so I just want to say let's hold space for everyone who can be here. And we're looking for some great shares. And to kick it off, I just want to say welcome, welcome, welcome to our special edition, Meet the Authors. We have 24 authors from around the world in our newest book. Let me get my book, sorry. Where's my book? Where's my book? I don't know what I did. Oh, here's my book here. Ascend into your power. I'm sorry. Ascend into your power. We made it to #1 bestseller. So this is our third bestseller that we've been working with. Our first one was It's My Time under different brand. Okay, and now with our own since we started our own publishing company, we've had two bestsellers. So we're truly excited for that. So we got lots to be grateful for. Put in the chat at least one thing you're grateful for. What are you grateful for at this moment? Okay. Grateful for community. Great, Salsabila. My kids, life. Yes. Life. For health. It's a new day. Yes. Grateful for family, blessings, breathing, mindset. These are all one of my kids. Sisterhood, sound mind. So, yes, that is so important. Life, health, and freedom. Okay. So lots to be grateful for. So we don't take this time lightly. So we want to respect your time, family. Carrie, that said family. So we want to respect your time and introduce you to our authors. So Olga, before we start, do you have? I don't see Olga, so hopefully she didn't get pulled away.
I am here.
Okay. So do we have some housekeeping rules?
We have just a few housekeeping rules. We are going to run until about 1 p.m. Eastern time. So it's about 3 hours. And there are not going to be any breaks. If you need to take a break, of course, do that at your own time. Just don't forget to turn your camera off. Questions. If you have questions for our authors, you can put them in the chat. We are going to be monitoring the chat. Or you can just ask the questions when we prompt you to. Other than that, just enjoy, have a good time, and I'm admitting people. Enjoy. It's a great day. It's a great lineup of authors, and I am truly amazed that these stories that you're going to hear today or you're going to read about in the book, they are kind of ordinary stories, but not ordinary stories, because every single one of these authors was able to actually learn something from it and from their story, from their situation, from whatever they had to go through. And some of these events were very, very hard, but they did learn something, and now they are helping other people to actually overcome the same obstacles. So please enjoy. Please win our prizes, and we are going to have a lot, because even this morning we added a few to our list of prizes, and that's it.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you, Olga. Let's give it up to Olga and again. Let's put in the chat. Happy birthday, Olga. Okay. So now, Olga, you want to how about setting up our part one section, Olga?
Okay, sure. Okay, so part one of the book was the Forbes, Diane, and me, and we just wanted to set the playground of our book. And it's basically the slow realization. Sorry, I'm admitting people. That's why my eyes are not here all the time. So that's the slow realization that you can be successful on the outside while quietly disconnecting from yourself on the inside. And, you know, put me in the chat if at least once in your lifetime you felt that everything was great on the outside, but inside something was missing. I am not on camera? Sorry, yes, I wasn't on camera. Thank you, Robin and Lori. I don't know who that is, but thank you. Yes, now I am on camera. See, yes, that's exactly it. And many people are experiencing that, right? Okay, never mind. I'm not going to talk about that. But my chapter was about that. And Diane's chapter, Diane, you want to talk about your chapter first?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
go
going to talk
ahead.
about my chapter.
Yeah,
guys,
go.
you know, I'm the host of Ascend Your Path, and I'm also one of the co-authors. And my chapter is called The Power of Being in Service to Others. my heart is always about service. And let me ask you this question. Have you ever done everything right? You showed up for everyone. You built the career that you wanted. You handled your responsibility. But yet there was that quiet whisper saying inside of you, there is more. Put me in the chat if that's you. Yes? Yes, yes, yes. I can't see the chat. I'm sorry. But I want to ask one more question. Have any one of you have worked really hard for a position only to get passed over when you were the most qualified? I know there's a lot of yeses there. So I get that all the time. Okay. But this chapter, my chapter, the power of being in service to others, will help you with that. This is what my chapter is about. Because what I've learned after working with New York City Transit for almost 3 decades is that purpose doesn't always show up in big, dramatic moments. It's just small things that you do. I started off working in the token booth. Those of you who've been to New York City, back then we had tokens. You had to drop a little token. Now it's a credit card or something. Okay. And with me doing that, all I can do is I carried my badge. My smile was my badge of honor. And as I grew within the agency, I started leading a team of 60. Okay. Sometimes it was hard at times, but sometimes, again, I said, it's our service comes in small ways. It's that smile when you talk to a tourist that's lost, or an employee who is saying, I have babysitting issues, or that employee who's saying, how do I move up within the agency? My story answers that question because I've been through that. But I always came from service. I would always say to everyone or say to myself, how can I make what I do better? And I would, even if it's a form, I would look at the form and say, okay, what is this form missing? How can I improve it? How can I improve my employees? So in my chapter, I share how service became my leadership language. My favorite book is called The Servant Leader. I read it at least twice a year. And it just talks about leading from the bottom up. When you invert that pyramid, okay, you invert that pyramid and you lead but you lift your people up. And I guess this is why I do Ascend Your Path, because I love creating safe spaces for you to share not just your message, but to also share your story in our anthologies. So in my chapter, I shared how service became my leadership language. I shared how from working in the subway system to managing teams, and how serving from the heart doesn't just help others. It helps lead you to purpose. And that's what it did to me. One of the biggest lessons I want you to walk away with is this. When you stop chasing success and start choosing significance or impact, as Gigi said her word is, your life begins to feel meaningful again. I invite you to do what brings you joy. Life is built in balance. What you give returns, and it often comes back multiplied. This is about learning how to serve from your overflow and trusting that when you live with impact first, life has a way of meeting you with opportunities, joy, and even abundance. So if you feel stuck, or if you're in a season where you're asking, what's next for me? my chapter, The Power of Being in Service to Others, will help you answer that question. It will, I just want you to ask yourself, what can I, who can I serve next? What can I do to help someone else? So if you're feeling stuck, find someone to serve, even if it's a phone call, because service is not just what you do, it's how you unlock your purpose. And friends, that's how I unlock my purpose, by sharing with others, giving from my heart. And I invite you, that service is so needed today in the world that we live in. So find someone to say, I love you. Share your, whatever gift you have, share your gifts. We all have gifts. That's why we have unique fingerprints, so we can leave our own imprint on this planet. So I hope I was able to share what my chapter is about. I know it's just short, but I invite you to pick up Ascend Your Path. We're going to be dropping the link. It's on Amazon. And there's so many chapters there that will touch your heart. Each and every one of them is going to touch your heart in a meaningful way. So I just want you to say thank you. Thank you for listening to me. And I love sharing what I do. Olga, back at you.
Thank you, Diane. And by the way, the QR code that you see at the left top corner of most of our backgrounds, that's the link to Amazon if you would like to purchase the book, right? It's the left, right? Okay.
Right.
Yes. And Diane, what do you say if we have our first wheel right now and somebody can win a soft cover of the book?
A soft cover. Okay, sounds like a plan.
Okay, so let me. Hold on.
Okay, while Olga figure out the wheel, I just want to say that Olga will be sharing her chapter next. And just to tell you a little bit about Olga and her chapter, Olga's chapter explores what happens when we put everyone else first for so long that we forget to listen to our own needs. Through her story, she shares how burnout, boundaries, and self-awareness became turning points, and how rebuilding from within changed the way she leads, how she lives, and how she serves. Her chapter isn't about fixing yourself, it's about coming home to yourself. Okay, so just to keep in mind what's going to be coming from August chapter. We don't hear from Olga too much, but August chapter is quite powerful.
Okay, dokie, 1 second. We will get to my chapter, but do you see that wheel?
Yes. How many people do we have, Olga, registered?
145.
145.
Now you have to be here in order to win the
To
prize.
win.
So let's see. And some names are like, oh no, here we have good names. Nabila Alemad. Nabila, are you here? Let me see the list. No, I don't see. Yes, yes. Hold on, who knows that person?
Okay.
Sandy, who is that person? I don't see on the list. Maybe
She's
it's
in the
like one of
chat.
the iPhones.
She's in the chat.
In the chat, okay.
Okay, that's your person, Sandy?
Okay. Nabila.
Okay. Are we spinning the wheel one more time? Okay.
No, 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 no. If the person is here, is she here?
Yes, she said she
Yes,
can't open
okay,
the mic.
then we are not going to spin one more time.
Okay.
Later. Okay, so now I can talk about my chapter. Let me admit everybody, so I will be free to talk. Okay, here you go. Yes, so in my chapter, I use the image of the house because I'm also part of a construction company. Because for a long time, that's exactly how my life felt. From the outside, the house looked solid, nice brick, nice stone, everything was fine. My life looked successful. It looked all put together, good family, husband, kids, dog, cats, whatever, everything that you would want in a family. But inside, there were cracks that I avoided at all costs. Rooms that I kept closed, and repairs I kept postponing because I was too busy keeping everything else standing. You know the feeling? I cannot see the chat right now. Yes, I can see the chat. Okay. Now, the life didn't just knock on my door. It came in like a storm, like huge storm. Everything started falling apart not at one point, but there were signs, of course, like cracks. But since you avoid them now, it's the big storm. Um, Relationship fell apart. My sense of safety changed completely. The identity that I was building of that successful college professor, everything else, no longer was a fit. And in that collapse, I couldn't pretend anymore. I had to do something, right? If your house is falling apart, now it's the time to do something. And I had to go down to the foundation of all that. So my chapter is about what it looks like to rebuild your house from inside out. To notice where I had no boundaries, of course, where I was constantly overgiving and not even thinking about myself, right? And if you're giving from an empty cup, you know how it ends up. Where I had confused being needed with being valued. Because sometimes, and that's one of my books that I wrote in the attachment theory, we are trying to be needed. We are trying to do stuff because we are trying to earn love. That's the pattern that we learned in our childhood. That we have to earn, we have to deserve love, although it's our birthright. Now, my book is about learning that strength doesn't come from holding everything together at any cost, but from creating a structure that can actually support you. And stepping into my power didn't mean building a bigger, more impressive house, of course, right? It meant building a safer one where I could be myself, where I would have clear boundaries, I would have space to breathe, and that house would have a very solid ground. And again, if that story speaks to you, I hope it reminds you that rebuilding is not a failure. It's not a failure. Sometimes the collapse is the moment you finally get the chance to build something that truly feels like home. And that's what my chapter is about. And I hope you're going to read it, and I hope you're going to take your lessons from my chapter, sorry.
Well, thank you, Olga. Am I unmuted?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Thank you, Olga. Yes, guys, one of the things I've learned and from one of my coaches is that in life we should be honest always and open when appropriate. And a lot of us don't even know some of the stuff that we've been through since Olga and I started this project. We started working together. This is our third year. We've been working together now 4 years, but this is our third year in business together. And ever since we started, it was just like we just got hit one after the other, one after the other. But we keep standing. And that's the thing about overcoming. It's to when you fall down, like Les Brown would say, when you fall down, make sure you fall face up so you can get up. And that's what we keep showing up. So we know we're winners. And this is why Forbes will call and say, I want you girls to win because that's what you see. And this is what I see in each and every one of our authors that's in this book. They're winners. And that's why these stories are so impactful. So as we move forward in this part of the book, the focus shifts to something many of us quietly normalize. Living with discomfort for so long that it starts to feel like just the way things are. Our next author speaks directly to that experience. Dr. Munera Alganim is a physician, educator, and advocate who's a biochemist. She also she has a deep compassion. I can see something is happening with my screen. Okay. Okay, I see that. So now I lost my thing. So anyway, so Olga, yes. So she has a deep compassion for working with natural healing. I've learned so much from her. And for sharing what she specializes in, which is neuroscience as well. So, Munera, please share with us what your chapter is all about.
Thank you for the beautiful introduction. It strikes me every time we do this, the messages continue to go across. And that's what I've learned from life and from the patients or the students, is that when you repeat the message, it will be drilled to their brains somehow. So in my chapter, I had so many people when I share my life with them, my life story with them, they tell me, what, you should put it in a book. You should put it in a book. So many things happened to you. And I thought all my life, it's not worth it. What would other people learn from it? No, it's just my personal experience. How would it add a value or add some inspiration to others? No, I won't. Until the time came and I learned the lesson that, oh, yes, when we share our stories, we could inspire others. We could show them that you're not alone, and then life will go on. My bottom line message, and it was also in the introduction to the book, is that we need to slow down. We're always on autopilot, and life flies so quickly, time so quickly. And ta-da! One day I woke up at 45, completely paralyzed from the waist down because I had prolapsed discs and I couldn't get up. And I even felt it because a day earlier, I told my students it was like the final exams for the clinical exam, and I told them, I might not be there to evaluate you because I don't think I'll get up tomorrow. I don't even have the strength. And it happened. And that 3 months later, I was operated on, and it took me another 3 months to regain my power to be able to walk again. And that was the worst time health-wise. Going back in time, when I was 5, I had a car accident, and I learned that pain became my friend. And at only 5, I had so many crushed internal organs because the car was moving on my body several times, and we were vacationing. So that vacation became the worst time in my life. And then at 15, we had the Iraq invaded Kuwait, and I witnessed war at 15. And I said, okay, this is also normal. I didn't even have time to process the feelings or to process what I should be feeling, because I was always in this fight or flight mode all the time. And it became my norm. And then at 25, I was on the plane witnessing the Twin Towers, the World Trade Center in New York being disrupted. And then, of course, we had to shift course and go to Canada, change the route, and being held at a school there in Dartmouth, looked after by the Canadian Red Cross, because we became statistics. And then I said, what is this? What is happening? Why all is this happening to me? What's the lesson? What's the message? God, please show me. And then at 45, the good thing is that at 35, I got my PhD, and of course, with all the tears and blood and all burning all the midnight oil and everything. But that was the only bright thing that kept me going. And when I lost the ability to walk at 45, that was it. That was the lesson. That was the loudest that I've heard the lessons that God has been sending me, and I was ignoring because I was on autopilot. So my message to you is to slow down, listen to the messages. The lessons that we skip become the patterns that we repeat. And when they becomes the pattern, it becomes very difficult for us to change them. So I advise you, and I do this now on regular basis, on weekly basis, even if it's not on daily basis, that I take a moment to breathe, reflect on what happened in the past week, past month, past year, whatever it is, whatever period you would like. But I do it on daily basis now and then on weekly basis because I need to reinvent myself for every week I live. It might be my last. So why not live it to the maximum? So I advise you, I wish this, that we reflect, analyze what happened, reevaluate the situation, and revamp your life on a regular basis. And as Diane said, 2026 is the year of the new beginning. And in the Chinese year, it's gonna start on the 17th of February, which is the fire horse. So new beginnings. Let's just fall in love again with ourselves every day, every minute, every second. When we're full of love, we only reflect love. Thank you for being here. Love you all. And thank you for listening.
Let's give it up for Minera. Minera, you also, you share so much. And, we also have another chat that we do. It's called the Morning Coffee Talk. And Monero was the inspiration for that. So we have quite a few people in that group, and every now and then Monero will share her special gift. So next we have on the agenda, Olga, you got some? What you got, girlie?
Yes. I want to do another reveal, if
Okay.
you would allow.
Okay,
Yes, let's
please
do that for the
We got lots of
hardcover of
prizes.
the book. Yes, more prizes. Here you go. And the number of people is growing. Now we have 147.
Sel. Is that Sel?
That's Sel.
Congrats. We know who Sel is. Sel is Kim Jordan's VA. Congrats, Sel.
Congrats.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
That's it? Okay. So, Minera, thank you for such a great delivery. And next, who do we have coming up next? We have our very own guru sister, Lori Kuntz. Is Lori ready? Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about Lori. Lori writes about perfectionism, expectations, and the moment we constantly striving to stop feeling like growth and start feeling like we're in a cage. Through her story, she shares what it took to release the need to prove, perform, and push. And instead, she chose authenticity, self-trust, and freedom. Her chapter is honest, relatable, and deeply grounding, especially for anyone who has ever tried tied their worth to doing things well. Lori, I read your chapter and I so relate. Okay, we all want to have everything perfect before we start to do anything. Okay, and it keeps us stuck. So, Lori, the floor is yours.
Let me start with a quick question. Put a 1 in the chat if you have ever rewritten an email 3, 4, even 5 times just because it didn't sound quite right yet. Yeah, you don't have an email problem. You have paralysis from perfectionism. As she said, I'm Lori Klumps. I'm a certified neuroencoding specialist, an elite certified neuroencoding coach, and founder of Start Driving Your Destiny. I help high-achieving women stop stalling their careers with the toxic 10, some disguised as perfectionism, and start kickstarting their progress using brain-based tools, coaching, and techniques. My chapter, Throttle Past Perfect, is to help you get past that paralysis of perfectionism. I used to believe that perfection was the path to peace. If I did everything right, I'd finally feel enough. But perfection didn't bring peace. It brought pressure, and pressure eventually cracks you. It started early for me. I was about 12 years old, a report card in hand, 6 A's and 1 A minus. I handed it to my dad expectantly. He looked at the report card, looked at me, and asked, "How come this isn't a 4.0? Well, that wasn't feedback. That was a belief installation. Near perfect isn't enough. And it followed me into adulthood, dressed up as high standards. But here's the truth. Perfectionism is not high standards. It's self-protection, and it costs you time, joy, decisiveness, presence. It takes your life in pieces, one delayed dream, one missed moment at a time. So here's what I teach. In my chapter, you'll see the 5 gears to shift out of that perfection loop fast. Step number 1, notice the loop. Are you preparing or are you hiding? Number 2, interrupt that pattern. Move your body, change your state. It's neuroscience. Number 3, take imperfect action. 10 minutes. Start messy, but start now. Step 4, reframe the story. Feedback isn't a verdict, it's data. And number 5, celebrate your progress because your brain repeats what you reward. Your life isn't waiting for you to be perfect. It is just waiting for you. I do have a free companion workbook for my chapter. It's called the Throttle Past Perfect Playbook. And if you want personal support, you can book a complimentary jumpstart call. The link for both of these is at the close of my chapter. So now, take the handlebars. Pressure doesn't create peace. Presence creates that power. And you are the driver. Let's ride.
Wow, let's give it up for Lori. What a great presentation. Thank you, Lori. Yes, yes, yes. That was really, really good. And not good, but great. And I love the lesson there. Is perfection is not self-protection. Okay, Lori, and I'm so admired. I spent so many weeks, quite a few weeks in Mexico with Lori and her husband Robin. And it's always a joy to spend time with them in person. And we look forward to doing even more of that at some point soon. So, Lori, thank you so much for that. So,
Yes, one thing, Lori is launching a new workshop in March.
Yes.
Lori, you can talk about that a bit more. And she is gifting the tuition to this workshop to 2 lucky people. So, Lori, would
Okay.
you like to explain what that workshop is?
You bet. The workshop is called Throttle Forward. It's a 6-week brain reboot for real life. It's based on neuroencoding principles taught by my mentor, Joseph McClendon III. And so it'll be 6 weeks long. There'll be work to do. There'll be breakout sessions, etc. This typically runs for several $1,000s, but I'm starting it brand new for me in March, and the introductory price is just $147. So I'll gift everybody here, if they send me an email to Laurie at startdrivingyourdestiny.com, I'll give you a discount code for $100. But 2 lucky winners today will get free access to the workshop.
Okay, I'm going to share the bill in a second, but can you put your email in the chat so people would be able to grab it?
Okay, so
Yeah.
that is a great discount. Okay, and listen, you all could tell Lori knows how to teach. And I've been in a workshop with her lately, and I'm looking forward to her presentation tomorrow. But not really her workshop, but she's participating in another workshop, and she's presenting. So I'm excited about that. And for guys, for $47, it is so worth it. Okay, and 2 lucky people are gonna win it for free. So let's see what that wheel says.
Who is that? Margaret? What's the last name? And are you here?
Margaret, hopefully we have just one Margaret.
Margaret, can you put if you're here, put something in the chat?
Going once, going twice. Okay, I'm gonna spin the wheel. There's more
Okay,
prizes to win.
let's do it. Layla Bredenstein. Are you here, Layla? Yes, Layla is here. Congratulations. Okay, I am going to record your information and pass it forward to Lori, but let's spin the wheel one more time for the second winner. And congratulations, Layla. Carrie, Carrie, are you here?
Carrie Lily.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I saw Carrie.
Yes. It's
In the room.
iPhone 182. Okay.
Yeah. Congrats, Carrie.
Congratulations, Carrie and Layla.
Yes.
Okay, so let me introduce you to our next speaker, and it is Domo. Domo shares a deeply reflective and very touching story that takes us back to those early moments when safety, creativity, and inner words become anchors. And her chapter reminds us that resilience doesn't always look loud or strong on the outside. Sometimes it looks like retreating inward, observing, and learning how to hold yourself when no one else can. And please join me in welcoming Domo to the stage. I don't see you, Domo. Here, I see you now. You're muted, one sec.
Okay, can you hear me?
Perfect, yes.
Hello. Hi, everybody. First off, I'd like to thank you, Olga and Diane, Thank you so very much. It is such an honor to be here with all of you amazing people. Happy birthday, Olga.
Thank you.
Oof, am I nervous? So I started my journey of healing and allowing my voice to finally be heard when I realized, like so many of us do, that I was in a cycle of complete blah. Um, I I couldn't look in the mirror without hearing complete nonsense constantly. And I knew that I wanted my kids to see what and who their mom really was, besides just a crazy mom. I wanted to be a better woman for my husband and myself. I felt I owed it to the girl in the tree, to the little me. I've had an amazing, I'm actually had the honor of, I'm going to cry, looking up to an amazing woman and dear friend, sister to myself, Jennifer. You guys might all know her. She's on here. Jenny has given me the push that I needed, and I cannot thank her enough. Olga and Diane have helped me to stand up and be able to look in the mirror, to continue to help and serve others. And by me doing that, I've realized that it is helping me tremendously to heal. I'm sorry, I wrote notes, you guys, because I was so nervous. I feel like my chapter, and it is something very dear to me, but I feel like the chapter is proof that, like written in the book, it is not a life sentence, but it's the landscape we must learn to navigate. And these are living lessons in how to survive and eventually how to grow as a person, how to be a better person. And to all of us who want to make the little versions of ourselves smile, I hope that I could continue to help heal others in the work that I do, and to continue to help heal myself for my family and the little me inside. And I hope everyone enjoys and gets something out of this. We have some amazing stories and amazing women and men in this group, and we have a lot to offer so many people. So thank you so much for allowing me and helping me through this journey. I can't wait to see what all of us have in store and what we could do when we finally are able to stand up and look in the mirror. Thank you.
Thank you, Domo. Your chapter, when I was reading and editing that, I was crying like crazy, of course, because it's a very moving chapter. And you are so courageous, and by telling your story, you're going to impact so many people, because we don't know who is going through the same stuff. Maybe not the same stuff, but some bits and parts of that, right? But thank you for getting that out. Thank you for making this impact on others. And guys, please read that chapter. It's I don't have any words. I'm going to cry as well.
Thank you.
And Olga, I just said that, and as Domo started talking, I felt the same emotion in my heart, because I know after hearing just not all of her story, but some of her story, it was just heartbreaking, and to see what she had to go through, and she's still standing, and she's still giving, and she's still serving. Okay, and I tell you, and this is why, and she talks about her dear friend Jennifer, and Jennifer invited her to come she told us about our retreat, and that's how we met. That's when we met Delmo. And when she came to the retreat, I would see her, she would always be running off, or she would always have her hair in her face. And then one day she came to our Olga and I was sharing a cabin, and she came in and she shared and she poured. And again, I want to say thanks to Forbes. I use what Forbes taught us to help her. And before Doma left that cabin, she looked into the mirror. So yes. So we don't know, we see people going around and we don't know their struggles unless they share it. Again, I repeat what Les Brown says. Your story is not for you. It's to help others overcome their struggles. And I'm sure Domo's story is going to help a lot of folks. So read her message, share it with others, because it may not be for you. The answers might be for someone else that you know. So thank you, Domo, for sharing.
Thank you so much. You guys have me shaking. Thank you very much, you guys. Thank you.
Well, oh gosh, we're going along here. Well, we don't want to start crying. It's too early. Well, our next chapter brings us into a very different expression of power. One that's rooted in presence, tenderness, and responsibility. Chris Gray shares a story that reflects on fatherhood, masculinity, and the quiet moments that shape who we become. His chapter explores how love, guidance, and emotional availability can leave a lasting imprint, not just on our children, but on the person who chooses to show up as a parent. The story invites us to rethink strength and to recognize that some of the most powerful influences in our lives come through care, consistency, and connection. Please join me in welcoming Chris Gray.
Thank you, Olga, or sorry, thank you, Diane and Olga, for this opportunity. I want to thank my Heavenly Father for bringing you beautiful souls into my life. I met Olga and Diane about, is it 6 years ago almost now? 6 years ago. And I had talked about writing my book and what my book was about. And through this whole time, they've encouraged me, and there's some other people on the phone that have encouraged me as well. And for me, fatherhood is kind of my ethos, and I've always been taught to give back. And one of the first questions I get asked is when they hear about fatherhood and what my mission is in life, they hear, well, did you not have a father? And like, I had, in my opinion, everyone says it, but my siblings will agree, we have the best father. And he is on the phone today, and I am who I am today because my father and my mother poured into me, and it was them becoming one and pouring into me, and it wasn't a struggle. And if we look at life, if we look at society, a lot of the issues we have are right now because we have a lack of strong fathers being in kids' lives. And that is my chapter is about. And for me, my Heavenly Father, and Jesus was the embodiment of my Heavenly Father, is the perfect man and what a father should be. And it led me to start My Father's House KC. And we empower fathers to break through any barriers to be a part of their kid's life and be the leader that God called them to be. And to go along with the themes that the previous authors had already talked about, talk about impact. You can change this generation, generations to come, by solving the issues that we have at hand, by having strong fathers. And if a father says that their kid's better off without them, go look at the statistics, and I will show them that they are not. They need their father in their lives. Also, there's Olga talked about the house. There's so many homes where it looks perfect, but we don't know what's going on. And a lot of it has to do with the father not stepping up, being who he needs to be. Then Manira, you talked about, what am I supposed to learn? Every day is an opportunity to learn. And as a father, you're not going to be perfect, to go along with Lori. You're not going to be perfect at all, but you can be present, and that's what it takes. And then, Domo, you were talking about the little girl. It is so important for fathers to be in their little girls' lives, because that's who they're going to look to see what they are supposed to be with. And for the young men, we're teaching the men how to be men. And we have so many generations of boys raising boys, or women raising boys to be men. And some make it through, but mostly they don't. And fatherhood is a divine appointment. And we are called to provide and protect. And a lot of fathers get caught on the provide part, but they forget the protect part. And we have to be protectors, especially now. We have to protect our families and our children. And protection requires proximity. And that proximity leads to intimacy. And that intimacy leads to the bonds that hold families together. So that's my chapter. And that is where God has led me to be. And that is what I'm working on. And if you go to my website, my foundation's website is www.myfathershousekc. You can follow along our journey. We are in the process of rehabbing a house to where one of the obstacles fathers have is, even if the family's not together and they have court order visitation, they may not meet the criteria, at least here in the U.S., to be able to have that visitation. We're working on providing a home where they can have their visitation, and it's free of charge, so they can focus on making memories and building those bonds that holds families together. So I encourage you to, if you have any father that is struggling to be a father or has things going on, please give them my information. This is my calling. This is my service. And I'm blessed that God gave me a great example of what a man is supposed to be and what a father should be in himself, and then my earthly father. So thank you, Olga and Diane. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and always encouraging me and always giving me opportunities to be a part of your platform and share my story. Thank you so much. Oh, one last thing. Thank you for all my friends and family that have joined today to support me. I always have a tribe that comes with me to support, and thank you so much. I love you all.
Well, thank you, Chris. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was great. We've been hearing Chris talking about his vision and his mission. And but I've known him also for almost 3 years, but 6 years. And he's always talking about my father's house. And to see how it came to a reality. He talked about it so much that he manifested it. And I am so thrilled and so excited to call him my friend, because who wouldn't want him to be a friend? Okay, he's doing so much for dad, he's giving so much. And he always talks about his son, Lamont. And we're always excited. I think we almost had a chance to meet Lamont. We didn't meet him. But I also spent a lot of time in Mexico with Chris, and it's always so much fun. So, Chris, excited, and hopefully I'll see you in April.
Yes, and you'll get to meet Lamont and my fiance, and then we'll be wife.
Yes, look at that. Congrats, congrats. So next week, unfortunately, we have in our next chapter, it was written by someone whose story carries both tenderness and strength. And it's by Hortensia, who writes about resilience formed early in life, about responsibility, perseverance, and the quiet determination that comes from carrying more than your share and still choosing hope. But unfortunately, Hortensia isn't able to join us because she's in bed with the flu. But she was very generous to leave us a prize. Her chapter is a beautiful reminder that power doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it's steady, patient, and deeply rooted. We invite you to hold space for Hortensia as we move forward and take a moment to reflect on the strength woven through her story. So before we move on, I want to stay in the moment for a little bit Hortensia may not be able to be with us here now, but her presence is in the book and in this community. And her gift, Olga, is I believe it's a
Her gift
coaching
is,
session.
yes, a coaching session. She will tell you more about that when she feels good. But right now, let's see who the lucky winner is. Joanna Rojas, are you here? Please respond in the chat.
Joanna Rojas. Joanna Rojas going once, going twice. Does anyone know Joanna Rojas? Okay, Olga.
No, no, okay.
Spin the wheel.
Susan?
Susan DeWitt. I know Susan DeWitt.
I know her, but
Are you
here.
here? Susan DeWitt is a blast from the
Susan
past.
is here. Okay, perfect.
She's here?
And yes, she is.
Oh, wow.
Diane, we have a special guest in the house.
Oh, we have our special guests in the house?
Yes.
Well, although we don't want to keep our special guests on hold. So let's pause and welcome in our special guests. Okay.
Hello, 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 everybody.
Keep the doors open, yeah, the queen's walked in. Forbes got the fire and the world's her wind. Compassion with muscle, she's built for this run. Turning every grade down into breakthrough. Done it, look right there. Next to her shine. McKenna's the prodigy ahead of her time. Millionaire mindset, boss in her bones. Running her empire from her own throne. GSD, get it, execute, done. Power in the veins like a loaded drum. Seasons have a just stocked up a board. Forbes and McKenna, yeah, they get your dreams done. GSD, never watch them run. They're changing the world and they're doing it young. GSD, getting shit done.
Good morning, everybody. Diana, how to make an entrance, you know that.
I know you had to make your entrance, and we welcome this. Forbes, I thank you so much for showing up.
I wouldn't miss this. Come on, you got my little face on the front of your book, and you got some beautiful people in this room. Look at Olga just smiling. John, I heard a little bit of you in your heart. How wonderful. I'm loving Jenny's wings, and of course, Sandy's in the room, so it's got to be a great space to be. Diane, welcome and congratulations. You know, I am, I don't know what the right word is, because I don't allow anyone to say struggling in my world, but it's taken me about 5 years from the time I had the notion to holding this thing in my hands. It is not for sale yet. It is not released. You can get, Sandy, if you put in the chat, www.pitchsecretsbook.com, you can learn about all that we're doing. There's nothing to sell right now. But the speed with which you did your book, got it beautifully printed, got the cover I'm in love with. Congratulations for getting shit done. Quickly.
Well, you know, that's my nickname, Get Shit Done.
You know, I think that's interesting. I thought it was Diane Cunningham, rock star, but that's okay.
Yes, but thank you so much, Forbes. And guys, I know Forbes, she wants to bless us. And before I introduce you, is there anything you would like to say to what it was like working with us on this book?
Well, you know what? Whenever somebody gets to tell their story, the universe listens. I know that sounds crazy, but I first heard that in the most auspicious of ways. I was a young 20-something-year-old, very aggressive, really wanted to be an actress and a star. That was important to me, and I'm in New York. And I discovered how casting directors got in touch with agents, and I made my own little silly plan and moved in with a raging alcoholic to get access to this information, because my mission was bigger than the mess. And I ended up going to my very first AA meeting. And I remember when the first person, I don't drink, so what would I be doing there except to support my friend? But it was a real blessing. I walked in and the first gentleman got up and he said, "Hi, my name is," and I'm an alcoholic. Everyone said hi. And he told this story. And I felt my heart like I'd never heard anyone speak like that. My family was very quiet. They kept emotions to themselves. They're Russian immigrants. You were taught not to show emotions. Olga, maybe you know, or anyone who's been in the Eastern European bloc, we just got quiet. And all of a sudden, the second person got up and started sharing stories. And I realized at that moment that I was experiencing something I had never experienced. And that was people telling stories from their heart, not a script that actors were saying, and they didn't want anything except to share. And they often say that when there's two or more people in a room, God is present. I feel the same way when people share their story. And the topic and the concept of ascend your power is so uplifting, important, because I need you guys to just remember every day that you wake up in that cozy bed that you're in and you have heat and water and access to coffee and the freedom to get in your car and go grocery shopping. That hasn't always been the way the world works. Those are rights, those are privileges. And those things can go away if we're not so smart. And so every day you realize that you're the top 1% of the 8 billion people on this planet. You have been blessed with just the surroundings. Use them for good. Turn around and lift other people up. Don't walk over other people. I would love, man, I'd like to take a hammer and just stop the hate. I don't care. I've been alive now. I'm 65 years old. I've watched lots of administrations come and go. I don't like most of them, and I'm a poli-sci major. But as soon as one group gets in, the other group hates them. So I feel it's like, can we just stop? Because it's always like 50% here. Okay, now 50% here. And it seems to be that odd number that it's pretty evenly divided. I don't like the energy. I don't know why we can't level up, ascend our power into understanding that we're humans, that homeless people need to find shelter. I went to a restaurant the other day and this woman was sitting outside. I was freezing cold and I thought, how do I help her? How do I, and then of course you always run the risk of when you help somebody who might in fact be dealing with whatever, it's not always the best thing. But my heart just hurt. And when I see kids who are struggling, and I love your mission. Diane, from the moment I met you, you have this cherubic face about you. You've got this little cheeks, this cute mouth. You're beautiful. And you were sitting in a room and you weren't very happy. And I could feel that me going back to when I wanted what I wanted so bad. And when you don't know how to get it, sometimes you get very brittle. And you think, I got to get it. I got to figure it out. And I think maybe I watched you learn this, that when you lean in and you are part of something bigger than you, and you resonate different, things come to you in the most beautiful fashion. It took me a lifetime to learn that, Nelson. I wasted a whole lot of time and going through breakthroughs and letting the past. My mom was a bit of a hoarder. My dad was an introverted entrepreneur, inventor, and a magician. And I hid behind a lot of things. And I will share with you that stepping out into the light takes courage. And so I want to congratulate all of you who chose to share your story in this book, who trusted Diane that when she said she could get Forbes, Riley, and Les Brown, she did. Not an easy feat. I got a couple of, knock on wood, as the level of fame is rising, we get asked a lot of things. I didn't mean to be insulting yesterday to someone who said, well, I would love to just pick your brain. I'm like, you can't do that anymore. I always said, some people would always say, I'd like to buy you lunch and pick your brain. I'm like, I'm never that hungry and please don't pick my brain. But also it's a bad pitch when you say, I want to pick your brain. What's the value to me? Why do I want you to do that? So I sent her back with my hourly rate, which is a lot of money. And I make that. And the little girl in me is going, oh, come on, be nice to her. And the grown-up adult is like, welcome to being an adult. And I've watched you blossom. I watched you show up live. I've watched you show up on video over and over again. And Diane, I hope you feel it, but like an onion, I've just watched, you were beautiful to start with. And now you're just glowing. And you have all of these people in this room who are supporting and loving on you because you did what I'm talking about. You gave more than you got. You set out this project, you over-delivered, you made it beautiful, and everyone here witnessing that is the better for it. So congratulations to all of you for showing up, for loving each other. You know, I've had a chance to meet Sandra Smith over in the UK, and Sandy Lynn I've had in my studio, and Sandy Austin is one of my big, yummy best friends in the world. Because Chrysalin, all the way from down there in the Caribbean, how do I know these faces? Well, because they showed up. And the cool thing about being in my world is if you want to be loved on, welcome to my world. I don't ever forget you. Ryan runs our spin gym classes. And isn't it nice to be acknowledged and have somebody know who you are? And I only know them because they showed up to share their stories, to help other people, and to be these crazy, wonderful love muffins. So I'm grateful beyond words.
Well, folks, thank you so much. And, you know, as you said that about how life takes this turn, you know, I retired from after working with New York City Transit for almost 3 decades. And after what kind of not really forced me, but the job wasn't fun anymore. I wasn't really happy. And I started looking at motivational speakers, and I don't want to be a speaker. That's not my thing. I love doing what I do here, providing safe spaces. And when I look back, not getting a job that I wanted really bad, and I think I was the most qualified for, brought me to this today. And I look back and I said, thank God, because I probably would have still been working and stuck on the job in an office for a whole week because you can't go home. Okay, you're essential. And thinking about it, I heard a minister say, life is lived forward, but understood backwards. And that resonated so much with me because now, even looking back, I had to not get that job to do what I'm doing today, something that brings me joy. So I thank you so much for showing up. And guys, before I know Forbes is going to say a little more. Forbes, would you do a little more for us?
Well, I would love to answer a question or two. You guys
Okay.
can always come. As a free gift, I will share with you guys, and Sandy put this in the chat, Pitch Secrets training. You guys can come on a Sunday. I still do live Sundays. It's free for you guys as a gift to this. I do charge for it, but for you it's free. And we spend about 2 hours up-leveling, pitching, talking to each other, hearing how quickly you can articulate what you do so impactfully that you move your needle forward. You know, it's funny, I will take a quick moment. I had a really beautiful blessing last night. For those of you who have children, children go through different stages. There's that moment I remember when I wanted a baby so badly, and then 2 of them showed up, and all of a sudden I have these cute little twins, and then they're 6 to 8 years old, and they think mommy walks on water. They turn 12 and realized I don't and hated me for it. And I'm like, wait, when did I say I was anything that special? And then my daughter and son both came around and they work with me. Last night, my daughter identified this kind of hip Tampa party in some big mansion. Mostly the average age was 24. And she called me and said, Mom, would you like to join me and my 2 girlfriends? I feel like I won the lottery. It's a little live on my Instagram. You guys can check it out. I was like, I got all dialed up. Josh was like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm hanging out with the 20-year-olds. And what we did, and the people that we met I was all just doing pitching. Like I literally met some very impressive people. One guy who I got offered a speaking gig last night, okay? And if you saw the videos, it's all 22-year-old girls chasing cute 22-year-old boy. They're all just, and I'm standing there, and I identified a speaking gig. I was like, yes, you go, girl. And McKenna literally said to me at one moment, she's like, Mom, low key, I'd rather hang out with you. I get more done, and I'm having a great deal of fun, but I got to go hang out with my friends who like to drink and party and be silly. So I feel like I won the lottery that she included me, because she certainly didn't. And when she would introduce me, she said, this is my mom. And I'm like the only mom here. I don't think I look like a mom, but let's get real, you know? So it was just a great moment. I just have to share that with you guys. So yeah, ask me a question. You know, let me share something else with you. I teach this principle. Can I share this with you? Because I don't see anybody's hands raised. Can y'all take your right hand like this, go like that? I'm going to take your right hand, go like that. One more time. Take your hand, go like that. Okay, so here's something really important. When somebody says you have a question, just go like that. I'll tell you why. Because you get a window to be noticed. How many of you want to be noticed in your business and get leads easier? Yes? Raise your hand. You all do. You all want to get leads easier. So get this, I practice what I preach. 2 or 3 of the people at this party recognized me from an event last month. I wasn't speaking at the event. How did they recognize me? I answered a question. So literally, this is how it goes. And I ascribe to this, guys. Whenever I'm in a room and if I'm not speaking, I still want people to know who I am. I don't want to have to stand there and wait to meet all these people. Wouldn't it be a lot better if I had 2 minutes to say who I am? Or 60 seconds. So here's what I do. You only need 20 seconds to say who you are. So I want all of you to formulate a question. What would you want to ask Forbes Riley? What would you want to know about being in business? Whatever it is. But you get 20 seconds. And here's how it goes. Hi, my name is Ann Summers, and I work as a pet veterinarian, and I've got a new holistic way online to get your pet really happy. Hey, Forbes, here's my question. So last night, there were about 3 guys who walked up to me going, hey, saw you at Max's event. Guys, all Max did, and I knew at some point, he's like, hey, does anybody have a question? I'm the only hand up. I'm the only hand up in a sea of 1,000 people. Who is he going to pick? And I feel like I got knighted. Hey, everybody, it's Forbes Riley. Just want to know, known as the Queen of Pitch, $2.5 billion in sales. Do you ever want to know how to close deals faster? I'm your girl. Okay, so here's my question. That's all I said. And people at this next party knew who I was. So just keep that in mind. So Abby is the first girl to go, yes, I got you, Forbes. I know what you're saying.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Olga. Dr. Forbes, my question is, how do you get over your dislike for social media? I know to be a writer and a speaker and an entrepreneur, you need to let people know who you are. But I kind of have a dislike for social media.
Why? What don't you like?
I just love my privacy.
Okay, well then work for somebody else. What do you
For somebody else in what way?
No, well, Abby, what do you do?
I am a registered nurse and entrepreneur. My focus is providing affordable housing for unique type of individuals.
Okay, so in order to do that, do you need customers? Do you need clients? Do you need investors?
Yes, I do.
So if they don't know who you are, how would they possibly want to invest with you?
I understand that. But,
and that's really what it is. It's not about privacy. What you see on social media, in fact, I think I made a joke about that yesterday. I said, the chick that you see on social media is not who I am. It's who I want you to think I am. Okay? You don't have to show every aspect of your life. That's not what they're asking. They're asking for some credibility about what you do. And so if what you do maybe is you're interviewing people on why affordable housing is a really important thing to have, or interviewing success stories, it doesn't have to be about you. It has to be about what you're doing, and that your mission in life is bigger than your privacy, quote unquote. If my kids, I don't highlight my kids on my social media, even when they were little. That's my world. I do, however, highlight my husband, who's a 7-time world champion bodybuilder, and I love leveraging that because I'm so proud of it. And it's silly, right? But if we wanted a private life, I would never bring him into it. So Abby, just align with what you want to do. And if supplying affordable housing, then make your social media platform about that. I think exactly the opposite. I grew up in a time where the only people who had attention and press were celebrities. And you only got it through magazines like People or Us or Entertainment Tonight, and they were always in your face. And when I was coming up and acting, you had to pay a publicist $5,000 a month to get your picture into a magazine. Nowadays, guys, this is free. This is the greatest tool ever if you're in business. If you want to generate and make money, it's how people believe who you are. You have a profile photo. You have things that you believe in. And by the way, you don't need 1 million followers to be wildly successful. And you don't have to prove anything to anybody else unless you get caught up in that. And some people, that's their entire identity. Good for them, and they're making money doing it. Abby, you're bigger than that. And so that's how I think you want to use it. My advice is fall in love with it. It's a necessary evil.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome, Abby. Best of luck. Deb White, come on up here.
Hey, I am Deb White, and I've participated as a fitness professional the majority of my life. Now at 65, I am very eager to support others in understanding lifestyle medicine to heal and to maintain good health. How would you present that in a community where people are looking for the 5-minute solution?
Well, first of all, congratulations for doing it as long as you've been doing it and for wanting to continue. You have a very powerful message. Here's an important thing and by the way, this is what I love to teach on Sundays. I have a couple of very important phrases. Write this down. Stop telling people what they need. Get them to want what you have. So you can't stand there and say, look, you need to be fit and healthy. You need to go to the gym. You need to work out. They're not interested in that. But what you can say is to reframe this. Hey guys, you know what? You look at me and I'm 65 and I'm vibrant. I wear a size smaller than I did in high school and I'm loving my physical being. I go to the gym. I put muscle on my body. I even won a fitness bikini competition. Whoa, that I'd never wanted to enter before. So you yourself, Deb, are the product. You are this glowing light and a testament to good health. All I got to do is go, look, guys, if you all want a 5-minute fix, you want to do a little injection, I don't know if you know this. You know how every time a drug comes on the market and the next month they tell you all the class action suits about that drug and how bad it is for you? You've seen that over and over and over again, right? Well, so this Ozempic comes out or GLP or whatever it is. They really haven't shared with you, but they will next month, the month after you start, that it eats away your bones, deteriorates your heart, plays havoc with your brain cells, and you're going to be a very beautifully skinny corpse. Congratulations. You're not my client. And it's not long-term sustainable.
Yeah.
So feel free and bless those people. And Deb, there's only 8 billion people on the planet, and there's a lot in your community who do want to listen to you. So don't lump them into one group and don't discount them, but terrify the ones. Just reframe it and go, if that's what you want. It's never worked for anyone, but okay. And when the studies come out about all the things it does for you, it doesn't just eat away fat cells, it eats away bone mass, it does all kind of things. And and then the last thing, Deb, from personal experience, I did the same thing 30 years ago. I wanted to be fit, and it was really hard for me. I was an emotional eater. I was always carrying 30 extra pounds. Anybody relate to that? Yeah, just kind of annoying, right? So when Fen-Phen came out, Fen-Phen was basically medical speed. I took it. And I dropped some serious weight. I got down to a size 6 for the first time, and that was my goal, and I was so happy. You know the problem with that? I seriously affected my heart. And now here's the really sad thing, Deb. When it came out that it really affected your heart, here was my reaction as a food-obsessed 30-year-old. I didn't care about my heart. I cared about the size of my ass, and I just wanted to be skinny. And so I put myself at major risk for that. I would not have been your client. It took me another 30 years to become your client. So be patient. Love people where they are. Thank you, Miss Deb, for doing what you do. Queen, come on up here. Anybody named Queen's got my heart. Come on, Queen.
Good morning. Sorry about my voice. I've been coughing nonstop, and I wasn't supposed to speak, but you said something, Forbes, earlier, when you cannot figure out and there's like a crack, but you can't figure out, and there's like you don't understand. When you were in that moment, how did you how did you do it? Like,
okay, let me bring
moment.
let me bring this around to you, Queen. What are you struggling with right now?
Oh, so many.
Give me one.
First, I am currently not working for a while.
Okay, so just stop right there. What do you love doing? What do you make money doing?
I am not sure. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
What do you love doing? What are you skilled at? What did you go to school for? What do you see other people that interest you?
Okay, I love talking to people, and I love speaking. I love relationships with people. I love writing. That's why I participated in this anthology. I like
Okay, so let's start there, guys, because that's a really important thing to do. What are you guys doing with your chapter? Because one of the things is writing a book, and that's nice, and you get to hold it in your hand and go, I got a book. But if nobody else has the book, what's the value to that? So, Queen, you wrote this chapter because you would like to be speaking. You know, speakers get paid to speak, number one, and speakers can also sell when they are speaking, even if somebody's asking you to speak for free. There's a strategy that says, hey, come enroll and, buy a copy of my book. I know Diane was very gracious and set up an author pricing. So if you buy the book for X and you sell it for 2 times X, you make money that way. But you got to be thinking along those strategies. Does that make sense, Queen? And then I would also ask, what's the subject line, the one thing that I haven't read your chapter, but I need to know in one sentence what it's about. It's a great way to help me market it. Olga, can we unmute her? Okay, so what's in one sentence, what's your chapter about? And you guys should all write this down. You should also be very clear. I have 3 things I love: research, strategy, and leverage. Let's assume the research is already done, you wrote the chapter. Now you've got this chapter, it's got a title to it. The title is one thing, but the subtitle is what's going to get me to really want to either read it or promote it or repurpose it. Have you all put your chapter up on LinkedIn as a free gift? Hey guys, or even half the chapter. Go, hey, guys, I'm part of a new book. Let me give you a little taste of it. Here's a summary of my chapter or a summary of whatever. If you want to buy it, here's my link. So, Queen, what's the one sentence?
Well, my chapter was about wounded heart to wisdom heart.
Okay, so why does somebody want to read that?
Because I believe that we all go through.
No, hang on a second. This is a really interesting question. I teach this Sunday in my pitch class.
Okay.
There's no I in the sentence I'm asking for.
Mm.
Why does someone want to read it, not why you wrote it?
Okay. Get a different perspective and bring hope and make them understand that we are more powerful than we think.
Okay, do you hear what you just said? To make them understand we're more powerful. That's not what somebody's looking for. I want to be more powerful than I think. If you guys can literally come up with the reason someone wants to read your chapter in a sentence, it makes it very powerful. So if I wrote a chapter in the book about overcoming the word fear, I would simply have to flip that and say, guys, if you're dealing with fear in your life and you're not moving forward and you're procrastinating and you're looking for something to get out of this same kind of hamster wheel, my chapter will up-level you and empower you to take action. There's no I in that sentence. This is what my chapter does for you as the reader. It's how you pitch anything. And so that's a really important thing. You got to get out of your way. Queen, it's not about you. And you don't have to, it's so funny. There's a big difference between working and having a job and making money. I very rarely have ever had a job in my life, and I've generated billions. You know how I did it? Teaching, promoting, speaking, talking, writing, all the things that you said you want to do. Just start doing them and do them for somebody else's benefit. Diane, was that helpful?
Yes, it was. It helped me as well because I was writing down my points.
Well, but guys, it goes back to my pitch formula. If some of you have been through my big training, here's the thing. If you go back to identify what it is, and by the way, so remember I said research, strategy, and leverage? Let's remind ourselves that you have leverage built into this book. Leveraging my name, leveraging my fame. Hey guys, I'm in a book with a woman who sold over $2.5 billion worth of product, who starred in an infomercial and is now one of the leading pitch coaches in the planet. Oh my God, that's leverage. I'm in a book with Les Brown, America's favorite motivational speaker. This man is very picky about who he endorses, and he signed on to promote this book. Why? Because he sees the value in women's stories, blah, 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 blah. Make sense? So research, strategy, and leverage. Leverage the fact that you're with other writers. You know, can you all get together at a bookstore, at a library? Can you do a Zoom? Hey guys, you know what? We're going to come and read a chapter of our book tonight. And we're going to do this series for the next, I don't know, month and a half or however long it took. Oh, that's interesting. Always be thinking about the other person, why they want to read this. And what's the pain? It's just like pitching. If I have a product, in my world, we stop talking about the product initially. Nobody cares that I have a cup. Congratulations, Forbes, you have a cup. But what if I told you that this cup has all the superheroes on it, and depending on the temperature of the cup, they light up? You know how much water my son likes to drink because he loves superheroes? Your kids, if they love this, will want this cup because he's got a pain. He wants to go, wow, superheroes came to life. Now, if I'm talking to you, Queen, and Diane, who are women of a certain age, I might say, hey guys, you know what's so cool about this cup? It has a special Himalayan insulation. I just have to pour coffee in it once, and you know I'm a slow drinker. All day long, my coffee stays hot. Who wants all day hot? Or if you put a cold in there, your ice cubes never melt. So all I did was solve a problem that I know you might have with what I have. Does that resonate? You do that with your chapter, and people will want to read it, solve their problem. Terry Riley, my favorite last name in the world, next to self. Come on up here and say hey. Oh, Gloria just said, where can I get that cup? I wish it did any of those things. I made all that up. It's just a cup. I wish I had a cup that where my superheroes lit up and it stayed hot all day. Wouldn't that be good? By the way, that's how Forbes Riley sells ice to Eskimos. I don't sell ice to Eskimos. This is the big joke. Because Eskimos don't want ice. And that's a fact, and it's kind of ironic. What do Eskimos want? They want blankets and shoes and firewood. That's what you sell them, you are making money. So what you really don't want to do is keep trying to push a square peg into a round hole. It doesn't fit. So anyone who says she's so good she can sell ice to Eskimos doesn't know what they're talking about. Because nobody can do that. Why would you want to? It's the exact opposite. Stop telling people what they need. You need my new book. No, we don't need anything. I didn't ever bought anything I needed. You buy because you want it. So your job is to get people to want you. So Terry, ask one quick question and I'll give you back your stage, or Diane will be here to midnight.
Okay. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name's Terry Riley. I'm an image consultant and personal stylist known as the Confidence Fashionista. Haven't always been confident being bullied growing up, but I understand the pain of not feeling good enough. And now I use fashion as a tool to help women align who they are on the inside with how they show up on the outside. And my question, Forbes.
Wait. Can we just give her an applause? That was about one sentence too long, but it was freaking gorgeous. We now know who this woman is because she raised her hand. Thank you for illustrating that beautiful point. All right, question is?
My question is, I have a beautiful clothing line and I want to help women align who they are from the inside out using my clothing, because it's not just clothing, it's confidence that I'm selling.
Okay, so my question is, if you use the descriptive word beautiful clothing, you've told me nothing.
Okay.
So you haven't piqued my interest. Why would I want your clothes? Tell me something about them.
Because when you put the whatever the garment is, when you put it on, it makes you feel good.
No, stop for a second. And this is another part of my formula. There's a thing called feature and benefit. You can't stand there and tell me, oh, when you put on my mythical garment, you're going to feel like a rock star. You haven't said anything. When you put on my garments made of 100% cashmere, you feel like a princess. When you put on my silk blouse, so I don't have any feature right now. I have no context to believe what you're saying.
Okay, gotcha.
So what is a differential? Is it the cut? Is it the material? Is it the styling? What is it?
Okay, the color, the color pattern. The color pattern stays the same from season to season, from year after year. So you're able to build a beautiful wardrobe with less clothing.
Terry, can I got a lot of women here.
Okay,
No. But do you hear how she hasn't told us anything? Like she hasn't said, there's no real reason to buy what you've got right now. Because you haven't, and this is not about the clothing or you, Terry, and this is why I teach, because the pitch makes no sense. So I would ask, you could say, as a stylist, one of the things that I do is that when you get the clothes home, I have a unique pinning system, so you don't have to spend money on alterations, but that it looks tailored to your body. That's an interesting point. The color's irrelevant because every one of us has a different color palette here, so I don't really understand how you haven't explained it to me. So that it's a thing about feature benefit. Give me
Okay, the color palette. The navies are going to match year after year, season after season.
I don't care. No, I don't care about that. I don't care about season after season. I'm looking to buy, anybody here looking to buy an outfit. She's telling me I can look more beautiful from the inside out and is not giving me one reason to buy it yet. Diane, come and help me out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know. And I know what Terry does. She puts in that work, and I have some of her garments, and it's long lasting. It stays in season year after year.
Well, so then Terry, you might want to say, after studying trends, I realize that as a working woman, you don't want to adhere to fads. That's one season in your closet. But you also don't want to go to Macy's and get the same cookie cutter, white shirt, blue blazer, khaki pants bullshit that they sell there. So if you said to me, I use high quality Italian materials at affordable prices, now you've piqued my interest. Right, guys? Or I have a unique styling when it comes to making skirts and pants and jackets make you look like you're 10 pounds thinner. Anybody want that? Hello.
Okay.
I don't even make clothes and everybody raised their hand, Terry. Because of the pitch, because I'm giving them what they want. What do women want? They want to look thinner. They want to look beautiful. They want it to be affordable. They want it to be long lasting, but that's not the key one. You have a solution. We all as women have a problem. And then you might want to say, because we're all so different sizes, I'm still not convinced. You guys, one of the things, how about I make you feel sexy? We don't use sizes 2, 4, and 6. We use size love, perfection, and queen. I don't know. I'm just saying because we're tired because those sizes are all stupid. Does that make sense? I take your actual measurements. We don't give you some stupid generic number, and we make you look amazing. Yeah. So I've just given you like 18 different ideas.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. All right, you guys. Oh, we do have a man up here. Diane, really quick, should Paul just ask a question?
Yes.
Come on, Paul, jump up here.
You're unmuted, Paul. Please unmute yourself.
How's that?
You're great.
My name is Paul Hessen. I show people how to use their conscious and subconscious mind to achieve what they want and to build resilience against stress and anxiety. And Forbes, I have a question for you. How long did it take you to acquire the wisdom that you have and to make it flow so easy as if it is second nature? And the reason why I ask this question is a lesson for everybody that is here. How long it's going to take us time by the time we know what we want and then to achieve the wisdom that you are showing now. How long does it take?
That is such a precious question. The answer is 72 years. So I'm almost there. Some of you have a little ways to go. And I will tell you what happens. You have to make a conscious decision, and Paul has got a great point. Learn something. Continue to learn something. And also focus on this word of mastery. I got insulted as a kid, and it became the mantra for my life. Someone said to me, "You'll never be world class." And I set out on a mission going, what the hell does that mean? How does somebody become world class? And Paul, I was driven by that. And you all have a thing that should stick in somebody told you what you can and cannot do. And I lived with a billionaire. And I was really embarrassed because I was raised in a very simple lower middle class household where we had one couch with plastic on it. And I thought that's how you did life. and you open food from a can. And now I'm dealing with chefs. And when Mrs. Grace turned to me and said, "You need to get Louis Vuitton out of the trunk," I turned to her and said, "Who's in the trunk?" I had no idea. How would you learn these things? And so I set out to learn what it meant to be world class. And then every time I found a mentor, unlike many of you, I freaking dug in. I would become obsessed for a period of time, learning everything about Tony Robbins and all of his teaching, everything about Gandhi and his teaching, and I went nuts. I really dug down. I read lots of books. I spent this is an interesting thing you hear. Success that you see on the outside is a culmination of all the work you didn't see when nobody was looking. How many hours did I spend in the gym when I decided I had 3 months to enter a professional bodybuilding competition? I spent 2.5 to 3 hours every single day for 99 days in the gym. I only ate carnivore diet. I only watched motivational videos and bodybuilding things. And I changed my entire physical being in 99 days. A lot of wisdom came out of that, a lot of pain, a lot of trials. But I also know that if you segment it out, that nothing is forever. At least in my world. I'm going to go through this pain for this period of time and then it will end. So it's okay to run the sprint full out, but you cannot run a marathon full out. And so I've been blessed, Paul. I had mentors along the way. One of my mentors made us play the I want game. What do you want? And relentlessly, you get asked that question for 7 minutes. What do you want? What do you want? And I remember very clearly, I played this game many times. It gets to a point where you think you knew what you want. I played the game, it was like the third time, and this little phrase popped out of my face. And it said, I want to have every day somebody tell me that I inspired them. That was about 25 years ago. I wrote that down, I looked at it and thought, what the fuck? I don't want that. I just want to be an actress. Just leave me alone. I don't really care about other people. I don't have that many friends. I didn't have friends growing up. People were always mean to me. Screw it. I just want to be all about me. And I kept looking at this phrase. I want someone else to tell me that I inspired them. And then I drilled down and said, what does that mean? And by the way, I've also lived, Paul, at an ashram for 2 years, on and off. An Indian ashram. I ate vegetarian. We couldn't talk for several days a week. We had to listen to Guru Mai. We had to read and chant. And why did I do that? To explore all the little pieces of who you are. If you imagine that you're a star, but you're in the center, and none of your points are pushed out yet, and all you see is the circle, like, I have to push out these points. I have to push out my biohacking. What does it take to be a functional human being? What do you have to eat, drink, think? I don't drink alcohol. You know why? There's no value in it. Absolutely none. And so, I mean, it ages you. It makes you feel bad the next day. Maybe it makes you a little loose at a party, whatever it happens to be. But I realize that that's where I'm standing. Well, as I look at my face all these years later, I think my skin looks really good because I didn't put poison in my body. Congratulations, Forbes. That was one thing we did right. Then I did some things not so right. And I had to find, but I managed to keep, because all of these stars have to be pushed out for you to shine brightly. There is a financial star. How do you take care of the money that you've got? Who do you donate to? How do you feel about money? There is an emotional thing. There's a spiritual thing. I've been on lots of spiritual quests because I did not settle for the religion that my parents were raised in. Just, it was a concept. I learned that concept and I thought, there's some holes in this. And then I found other concepts. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to put all this together since I live in a free world, thank God, and make my own version of spirituality. I don't share it publicly because it's not anybody's business. But I have a very powerful connection to whatever this universe is. So all of those stars, if you're lacking in one of those, push it out and see where it goes. And then the next time I played this game, another crazy thing came out. And it comes out when you're not expecting it. That's why I love this game. And I said it, and I can't believe I said it. I said, I want, what do you want? I want this. I want people to love it. I want to be told that I'm amazing. And I stopped and thought, oh my God, I said that out loud. And then I realized how true that was and how embarrassed I was for admitting it. But I said it. And then it dawned on me, what do you want? You might want to write down. Here's a great exercise, guys. Take a whole page, I want, and fill up all 50 lines. I want this, I want that. It might be, I want money, I want the love of my life, I want to travel. And then you might want to say, where do you want to travel? I want to travel to Dubai. I want to travel by Dubai when? Write this down until you can't write anymore. And it dawned on me that this word amazing came from my father. My dad and I used to do magic tricks. And whenever a magic trick is over, the audience always says to you, oh my God, that's so amazing. And I thought, I want to be told I'm amazing. Then I have this little fitness product. It's called a spin gym. And every time someone touches it and does like 30 seconds, they go, oh my God, that's amazing. I feel that. And I thought, how do I get to be told that I'm amazing? And Paul, the craziest thing is, I started writing books and writing courses and teaching and doing this 18 hours a day. When all of you are out having a great time and doing what you're done on the weekends, I was writing and working with my daughter. And now, very often, I will walk into a speaking environment and people will literally say, there's the amazing Forbes Riley. And my heart just goes, how did they know? And it's because you had to show up in such a divine, committed way to help others. And so the answer to this is that everyone's on their own path. Please take a moment and uncover what you really want. If you really want to be free of your mom's voice because you can hear her nagging even though she's been dead 20 years, make sure you take care of that one. If you really want to raise a kid that you didn't give birth to because you'd like to give back, I did that. Unfortunately, the kid that I raised for 12 years was murdered. You know what I wanted to do, Paul, then? I wanted to do a speech about this, and I could never figure out how to do it because I'm always talking about business. And you know what happened? I gave a TEDx talk this year about business, about pitching, and then by the grace of whatever universe I'm plugging into, I got asked to do a second TEDx. And it was called Urban Mosaic. And I literally could hear Dexter and my angels and whatever just reach back going, you asked for this talk. Take it. It's not public yet. But it talks about black versus white. It talks about an experiment that I was subject to when I was 10 years old about eye color. It talks about my roommate, who I never really talked about, how I at 19 put a black and white acting group together and did something extraordinary against everybody's wishes. And then how I raised this kid who was as black as my shirt and loved him to pieces, told him he could be anything, put so much time and energy into him. And it turns out that I was wrong because I told Dexter that he could be president of the United States. And he said to me, oh, Mom, that's not going to happen. A black guy's never going to be president of the United States. And it turns out my boy was right because he was killed before Obama took office. And so we are taught to hate. Can we be taught to love became this speech. Paul, I don't know how wise I am. I just know that I continually ask the universe for more. I don't settle. Enough is never enough for me. And by the way, it doesn't always make you the happiest person on the planet. My sister and I are very, very different people, and we don't talk because of it. I've solved everyone else's problems, right? Two things. I come from a family of very grudge-holding, angry people. They were persecuted. They came to this country and they continued to be angry because nobody liked them or respected them. And so I got colored with all of this energy and this anger, right? And I could hold that. Or you can make a shift and go, I'm not going to be that person. I see more in humanity than the news is telling me I should see. I have learned to turn off the news. It's very destructive. And then Dexter was murdered. And I'm like, you could be angry. You could be solitude, and you certainly have to go through that period. But I said, what if his story and our story could matter to other people? And wisdom comes from always asking questions. So Paul and Terry and everyone else who stepped up to ask a question, thank you. For those of you who have questions in your head and your heart, come to Sunday. And by the way, Jay, thank you for saying I'm amazing. Here's the funny thing about the universe. You literally, and see the chat, get what you ask for.
Let's give it up. Give it up for Dr. Forbes Riley, my celebrity author, my coach and mentor. I am so thrilled to always have the opportunity to spend time with you, and especially in person. So I look forward to the next time I can hug you and say,
all right, wait.
You
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna pitch something, if I may. This page just got posted yesterday. I'm going to ask you guys, so we do a little event here, fredxevent.com. Now, why is this important to you? Well, because you've all written a chapter. The next step in your journey is to speak about what you do. Diane, do you agree?
Yes.
So if you look at that, that event is a 30-person event at a TV studio that I personally built and own. It's a 5,000 square foot building. We're going to do our third and fourth FredX's, and what is this? This is you doing a 5-minute speech that we record with 3 cameras. We do a branded high-level photo shoot, and we do a day of training. It's a 3-day event. We cater every single day because I love taking care of people. But your message that you wrote as a chapter now gets to be a talk, gets to be a platform. You don't have to speak about that, but oh my gosh, we also have a virtual audience watching you of hundreds of people who could buy your book because they love what you're doing. So whether it is this whether it's I love my event because unlike Ted has a whole lot of rules and it will take you from the time they say yes to you, will take you 6 months to get on the stage, and then you don't really own the footage. They do. It's great. Guys, I want all of you to have a TEDx talk, and I teach it, and I guide people towards this. But to be a speaker, you don't have to wait for that. In March, you can literally get on a stage and have this beautiful 5-minute recording of what you stand for. Now you have assets. You have a book which, to Diane's credit, looks beautiful, is leverageable, and now you have this video of you doing this thing. Can you send that out to event planners? Can we get you booked on stages so your message, Miss Terry, about making women feel great with amazing clothes doesn't just live in your head or in this book, it gets out to the world. So there's 2 people on this platform who went to FredX. Sandra, I know I hear from Sandy all the time. Sandra came all the way across the ocean to be part of this. Can you see why this would really serve this community? Miss Sandra Smith.
Thank you, Forbes, for inviting me to speak, and for Diane and Olga for giving us this platform. You talk about leverage, and that stage gives you the leverage. It gives you an opportunity to put into words from a visual point of view, so you can connect with your audience. People can see you. People will they will feel for you. And Forbes hosts it on YouTube, on her platform, but you can also download it and put it on your platforms. So you get an opportunity to have your voice out there. And why not, is what I say. Why not take the next step? There's no point just putting a chapter in and then stopping from there. Your voice needs to be heard, and it can be heard via that route.
It's funny. I'm on right here, and I'm looking at. Sandra, I can't find yours right now. I'm looking for Sandy's. Sandy Lynn is also here, but let me share something with you. I want you guys to see this. I put this up on my, and it's, again, this is not about me. This is for you guys. And if I can leverage my own studio, my own platform, we look right here. This is, let's see, who do I have? Jan Jansen's here. Jan Jansen.
For thousands of years, we walked in what the earth gave us.
So I literally can pull up her talk right now.
It's so wonderful to be here with you all. How many of you?
This is a beautifully videotaped, 3 cameras, and let's see, how many likes does she have right now? She has 1.8 thousand views on this because I put it up on my channel to share with everyone. If 1,000 people, and by the way, you get to have anything that, we're promoting what you do. And I'm thinking, Diane, that maybe we should consider, how many authors are in our book?
24, including you, so it's 23.
Maybe we do a book, maybe we do a version of this that's dedicated to the book. That might be an interesting conversation. Or we can do just one-offs. But I got to share with you, I created this platform, this stage for you guys, so that you can get this message, because the book is great, but how many book chapters are going to come to life? And then you take this little video and you go, hey guys, as an event planner, if it's in a women's event, what I love about what Terry does is not a lot of people speak about clothing, and how to look beautiful from the inside out, but they need to see what you do. This might be that avenue. So Diane, I just wanted to share that with you because I made it available, worked really, really hard to make it so special. I'll just bring Sandy up and that'll be the last person. Sandy Austin, who's my hero. Diane, we just love her. What's the value in all of this? And then just say something wonderful to Diane and then I'll leave.
You bet. Thank you, Forbes. Diane, this is such an incredible event, girl. You go, girl. Forbes, 3 years ago, I took my first class with Forbes Riley. I won it through a second place in a pitch competition. And I'm a professional school counselor, dealt with people all my life. I'm 66, and so I've dealt with a lot of people, have been through a lot of mentor trainings and that type of thing. On that first one, I thought, ooh, Forbes is different. And I thought, well, I got to check out this woman. And you guys, I have been in every single training since then. She is the real deal. She is here for us. She wants to help us to figure out who we are, what our gift is, what our message is. And you guys, 3 years ago, I had 15 speaking events. Through the trains, I've taken every training of Forbes in the last 3 years. I had 66 speaking events last year. I 8x'd my leads that I get through event exhibit booths and everything. It's just incredible. So I have a nonprofit. You'll hear about me in a little while. But I just prevent bullying, suicides, and school shootings. And Forbes has just incredibly increased my effectiveness and my impact. So thank you, Forbes Riley. And you guys, I don't get paid for anything that I've been saying in the chat. So it's just, I want you guys to experience it too.
We just want you guys to experience the best that life has to offer. And Diane, you've done a phenomenal job. So I will stop talking now and just say thank you.
Well, folks, I thank you because when I got that call from you yesterday and you said, I just want you to win, it really touched my heart. And this is what I know you want for every one of us here. And I just want to pay it forward by supporting everyone on this platform. So again, thank you so much for supporting me and showing up and supporting us and being a part of our book. And yes, and saying so, and all of the authors, I know we have a few authors who are not here. For the ones who are here, we're planning to do a book signing with Forbes Riley. So I'm going to be reaching out with you guys and we're going to have fun. So we can kind of figure some stuff out, Forbes. I know it's going to be, I think we were looking at May the 3rd. I got to coordinate some more stuff with you. So yes. So I'm excited. I am thrilled. So thank you. And we have our next speaker up. Before we bring on the next author, and her name is Millie Maybell. And I'm excited to introduce Millie. Okay, so Olga, do you want to spin the wheel, give a prize, or you want me to go straight into Millie? Millie, are you here? I don't see, it's a lot going on here, so I don't see. I feel kind of generous. Olga has been so generous with us. Okay, she's offering our person who registered the most, who referred the most in the authors, a 15-minute call with her. You got the pitch masterclass on Sunday, and also she's talked about FedEx. So let's give away 2 of these prizes here, Olga. 2 spots.
2 spots, okay. Havana.
Havana. It's Havana.
Are you here, Havana?
Tawana. It's Tawana here. All right. Tawana may not be here. Oh, she's here. Tawana is here. Woo! We got a winner. One more spin, Olga.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Ooh, Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen is from Canada, isn't she? Kathleen, are you here? Going once, going twice. Okay, spin the wheel. Steely Figueroa. Steely Figueroa, are you here? Who knows Steely? Spin the wheel, we've run out of time. And I do want to bring up my dear friend and coach and pastor, Jim Hedrington, who is in the house. Again?
That's funny. Hold on, guys. Sorry.
Carrie Lilly. Carrie Lilly, didn't we have Carrie Lilly before? I think we did. Olga stepped away from the wheel. We have Carrie Lilly again, Olga. I don't know if Carrie probably had to rush off to work.
Let's do another one because Carrie won something already. Leila?
Leila Asada. It's Leila in the house. Okay, spin the wheel. Bunmi Coyote. Bunmi Coyote. Are you in the house? Type in the chat or put your physical hand up. Nothing? Spin the wheel.
Ay, ay, ay. I just missed my flowers. Somebody was at the door.
Oh, you missed the flower man?
Yes.
Marilyn Gottlieb. Oh, Marilyn. Marilyn, are you in the house? Oh, Bumby is here. Okay.
Okay.
And I don't know if Marilyn is here, but if Marilyn is here, she gets one too. But Bumby is here. Okay, good. Congratulations. Marilyn, are you here? Probably not. Okay, so my dear friend Jim is in the house. But Jim, would you be patient? What happened with my computer? Ooh.
All good.
Okay, good. I thought something went screaming blank. Jim, can you spotlight Jim for a moment? And then I'm gonna bring him back after our next author. Jim, thank you for showing up. Thank you so much. So Jim, you're running behind time. Would you be patient with us? Give us some grace.
I'm always patient with you.
All right, thank you so much. So Olga, would you introduce part 3 of our book? We have a few authors coming up. Give us some grace if you go over, friends. And let's introduce our next author. So, okay, I think I can do that. Our next author is Dr. Gloria Askew Harris. Gigi, are you ready?
Gigi had to leave earlier.
Okay,
Gigi
Gigi had to.
here.
Okay, so who do we have on this next roster here? Kristlyn? Kristlyn, are you able? Is Kristlyn there? Oh, I can't see my full screen. Kristlyn, put up your hand if you're in the house, or else I'm going to pass the torch
Jason is
to.
here, yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's. Oh, no, is it Kristlyn? Oh, yes, it's Kristlyn next. Should be Kristlyn. I know Kristlyn said she wasn't feeling well. Okay, so I bring up our next author, which is Kristlyn Benjamin, and she shares a story about discovering her why through lived experience. Her chapter reflects how adversity can sharpen direction, deepen empathy, and ignite a desire to serve in a more intentional way. What I appreciate about Krislin's story is its honesty. It doesn't rush the process or sugarcoat the journey. It shows how power can emerge when you stop asking why this happened and start asking, what am I meant to do with it? Please please join me in welcoming Krislin Benjamin. Krislin!
So hi, I'm Krislin Benjamin, known as the Beacon of Hope. My chapter is called The Spark That Became My Why. This chapter is about grief, grit, and the whisper my brother left behind. You know, there are moments in life that breaks us open. For me, grief did not come loudly. It came softly, in the silence of someone no longer here. And in silence, I heard this voice so clear. He believed in me before I fully believed in myself. So today, the work I do, the courage I summon, and the spark that fuels my why, it is my way of remembering him. On Tuesday morning, on my way to an important meeting that I couldn't miss, my phone rang, an unfamiliar number. I was told to come to the traffic police station. I didn't understand why until I arrived. In a small room where the walls felt so close, an inspector looked at my brother and me and said, in words that split my world in half, he didn't make it. My youngest brother, the spark among us, gone. I didn't cry. I went numb. And in that silence, something sacred began. It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, but quietly, a whisper I had heard before. You can do it. I had survived adversity before. Illness that stole my strength, my speech, my ability to write, to use my right side, really. I was told to accept a smaller life. I didn't then, and I couldn't do it now. But grief is different. It leaves an empty chair and an empty voice. For a long time, I felt hollow until I realized his belief in me didn't die with him. It lived on in me. And when Diane and Olga had asked for me to contribute a chapter, I was thinking, I don't know what I would write on. But then I remembered my brother, and this is my way of honoring him, that this is how I will deal with my grief, by writing it. His belief in me didn't die with him. It lived on in me. That's when my why became clear. Not as an achievement, but as a calling to rise and to help others to rise too. From that journey came React, reminding me to honor the past through reflection, to reclaim your voice through engagement. Move even when it is a small step, and that's action. Beneath that noise came clarity. And transformation is proof that pain can birth purpose for us to rise. My brother's spark lives on in this work. And if you are here today feeling stuck, silent, or unfulfilled, know this. Your spark isn't gone. It's waiting. And when you uncover your why, it won't just light your path, it will lighten the way for others. And so I continue loudly. It may not be perfect, but faithfully guided by that familiar whisper that I still carry with me. You can do it. I want to read an excerpt from a poem that I did at the end of the chapter. To help the hidden find their light. So if you are reading lost or alone, unsure of when your life may go, know this, your spark is not erased. It waits in silence to be embraced. Let grief be sacred. Let hope begin. And listen for the spark within. Thank you.
Thank you, Chrislyn. What a message. And I know, sometimes we talk about share your story and we say, well, what should I share? And then we dig deep and realize I do have a story. And we find it in each and every one of us. We have several stories. Okay. So moving right along. So let me invite Jim to say hi, and he will be joining us tomorrow morning. The same link. He will be praying over us. He's Pastor Jim Hedrington. So Jim, I'll give you a few minutes to to introduce yourself again and share what you're doing, and then we're gonna move on to our next speaker is Robin, and then it's gonna be I believe it's Abby. Okay, so Olga, Jim, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, thanks, Diane. This is such a privilege for me to be here with you. And Olga, I've been part of your journey for several years now. So this is exciting to see this and so many familiar faces. I see so many. I see Kim. I see Chrislyn that was just speaking. I see so many familiar faces that I've had the opportunity to connect with and support along the journey. And for those that don't know me, my name is Jim Heatherton. I live up in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I support authors, speakers, and coaches in just really getting clear on their story, their message, their why, as Chrislyn was saying, and just helping them to redefine their goals and their offers and how they can support others and get their message out there. And then I teach them how to leverage that. And so that's what I get the privilege of doing. So Diane, before I continue rambling on, because you know me, I can keep teaching forever. So give me an exact amount of minutes that you want me to speak.
Jim, you got 5.
I got 5. Okay, I can do 5. So what I want to do is I want to create a little bit of value. Is that okay with everyone? Can I give you some value? How many, I know we got a lot of authors in the room because, I mean, that's what you're here. You're celebrating this book, which congratulations. I think that's absolutely exciting. So how many authors do we have? Just raise your hands up. Okay, I see hands going up all over the place. All right, speakers. We got some speakers in the house. Coaches. We got lots of coaches in the house. All right. So one of the things that I get asked all the time is, Jim, how can I leverage my message? Anybody ever had that question? You ever thought about, okay, how do I really leverage this thing? I'm in a book. I'm in another co-author book. I've got this product, this service, but it's learning how to leverage it because there's a lot of noise out there today, isn't there? There's a lot of competition. So stepping aside and stepping out and stepping apart from everyone else is a real challenge. I want to give you a 1-minute exercise that'll give you a 30-day content calendar. Would that be okay? Would anybody like to know that formula? It's a secret formula that I'm inviting to give to you right now. All right? So you can use this, whether it's your book, whether you got an entire book, whether you've just got a chapter. Because I get people ask me, how can I 10x my investment in a chapter in a book? And I said, well, it's simple. It's just taking your book, taking your idea, right? So here we are. This is your idea. So that could be your chapter. It could be an idea that you have. It could be something that you teach around. All right. So now how many could take their chapter? Let's just focus on a chapter for one. Take your chapter. How many could think of 5 things that you could share with somebody out of your chapter that you've already written? How many could do that? Right? I see heads going up. I see hands going up. So we think of it and we create 5. We think of 5 things that we can teach out of the chapter that we've written. Or we could take our coaching program. We could think of 5 things that we want to teach her that we could share out of our coaching program. Now, how many could take one of these ideas and come up with 5 ideas to teach underneath that? Who could do that? Right? I mean, you know your stuff. You're already an expert. You're already an authority. You've already done the research. You've already done the hours to communicate and to get the data to support people to understand your niche. So it'd be easy to take one of these points and create 5 other ideas. Now, I know you're all intelligent. You know what's coming next, right? So next, we take the second point and we come up with 5 things for that. Who could do that? Who could take that second idea and come up with 5 other things that you could think about, right? And you got it. We do that for 3 and 4 and 5. Now, we think of 5 things that we can do under each one of these things. And now all of a sudden, you got a month's worth of content that you can use on social media, use for short reels, use for YouTube videos. You could put up little blog posts on this. And it all works out. So you got 5 ideas, and 5 times 5 is 25. So that gives you 30 days, right? Simple exercise. So 30 days, and you could repeat this every 30 days. So you don't have to stress about what you're going to talk about. You don't have to stress about what you're going to post. And the beautiful thing about this, how many are using AI today? It's okay. You can put your hands up. It's not a bad thing to use AI. I use AI all the time. So the beautiful thing about this is once you have trained AI to know who you are, who you serve, what your message is, what your story is, what your brand is, right? Once you've trained AI, so whether you're using Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever platform you're using, once you've taught it how to do that, now you could just put this in here and say, okay, here's my chapter. Give me 5 things that I can teach. And you could break it down. Now all of a sudden you've got all the bullet points. You could have this done in less than 5 minutes. And then you've got 30 days of content that you can share. So I wanted to share that, to share this. I've been talking to Diane. It's wonderful that I still get invited into her world. She's working with the great Forbes Riley, and I still get called every once in a while and just asking questions and give me some thoughts and ideas, and I encourage her. But I was sharing an event that I'm working on in the Philadelphia area, and that's what she really invited me to do, was to come on here and to share this event with you quickly. So it's really an event. It's less about a book and more about a moment, right? It's because we all know that events come and go. We publish books and we move on, but every once in a while, something will coming along that people actually remembered. So on May 30th, we're gathering in Philadelphia, and we're going to have a legacy experience built around a Guinness World Record. So the record that we're going for is the most authors in the book in the same room signing it simultaneously. So the minimum number that we need is 130 people to break the record. The aspiration is to get 250 because it's your 250th anniversary in the US. And we picked the Philadelphia area because that's where it all started. The Declaration of Independence, all the stuff happened around that area. So that's what we picked on that. So it's not about just getting into another book. It's not about doing that. It's not getting in it just to say that you're in another book. It's more about the experience and the moment. And here's the deal. It's more about having a heart for legacy. Who wants to leave legacy? Right? That's why we do what we do. It's not just today. It's not just to pay bills today. It's for future generations. It's for future stuff that's coming up. And that's the beautiful thing about this, that through this opportunity, we're going to record the entire thing. We're going to have it broadcasted. And the focus is on relationship building. The focus is on connections. The focus is on how to leverage the media assets. How do you leverage these things? Because we all have opportunities. This is an amazing opportunity that you have being in this book. Now take it and leverage it. So that's what the focus on this is going to be, is about leveraging these opportunities. How do we leverage ourselves as authors, as speakers, as coaches? What are the inside tricks? And what we're doing is gathering people. So we'll have a minimum of 130, potential of 250 plus of authors, speakers, coaches, movers, shakers, people that want to build legacy in the same room. So I want to invite you to discover a little bit more if this makes sense for you. For some of you, it's not going to make any sense, and that's wonderful. I still love you. For others, you're going to say, I want to be in that room. I need to be connected to these people. I want to be part of something and look back a year or 2 years from now and say, I was there in that moment, in that room, signing that book, building those connections, building those relationships, and leveraging my business, leveraging my coaching career, leveraging my speaking career, leveraging my authorship, and taking it to that next level. So I'm going to share a couple of links. And I didn't ask for permission from Diane or Olga, so I'll get their permission, but I'll put those in the chat. One is a document that you can read. It's just a Google Doc that I put together. It's got a few more details and ideas about it so you can get to know it a little bit more. And the other is the link to the actual landing page where you can go check it out, sign up, and be a part of this. So that's all I have to say about that. So was that helpful? Who's ready to rock it for the next 30 days? Awesome. I love it.
Yes.
And who's ready to check out this information about this event and potentially join us in Philadelphia? I see some heads nodding. I would absolutely love it. We're working on a couple of people coming from Iceland. I got people coming from Houston already. We got people from Canada driving down. It's going to be an epic time. And it's a room that you want to be a part of. So thanks for allowing me to come and share. I want to encourage all the authors, speakers, coaches, all the authors in this book. Congratulations. Leverage it. Take it to that next level and keep going.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jim. Quite a great offer. And Jim, we will put you in the replay. We're going to add your link in the chat. Okay.
Wonderful. Love it.
Thank you. Thank you. So now I know we're running so behind time. So Olga, what's next? Do we go straight to Robin?
Robin, yes, Robin.
Okay, Robin, are you ready?
Are you on different Zooms?
Hey, I think that I hear Robin driving up the street. So let's go to Abby and then we can probably come back.
Okay. Okay, cool.
All right.
Abby, are you ready? Okay, and I'm gonna just say after Abby, we're gonna have Robin, and after Robin, we're gonna have Dawn. Oh, yeah, goes Robin. Oh, give him a chance to breathe. You wanna give him a chance to breathe. Abby, are you ready? Yes.
As ready I can be.
Good.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am so elated to be here today. Thank you, Olga. Thank you, Diane. And we thank God for Dr. Riley that has been with us that took time out to be with us today. My story, it's about my family. First, I thought I was going to just write about my plight, my story. But then the Holy Spirit told me, said, it's not just your story, it's your family story. It's your story, your daughter and your son, and what God has done in your life. It's about a family, not just a mom, a mother and a family's unyielding light. What does that mean? Unyielding light. That means when you have faith on the inside of you, you know that there's nothing impossible for God to do. This story started on a family vacation to Central Florida by my family in 2011, July 19, about 6:19 p.m. I still remember every second, every minute, everything that happened that day. We were getting ready to go to Animal Kingdom. And being the mom, wanted to just go get a backpack, just we can save at the park so we don't have to buy a cup of soda for $12 back then. Now it's probably like $30, $35. And we went in there. It was just, my son came to me and said, Mom, I want a Snicker bar. And I said, we just had dinner. We're not going to be able to get that done. So he walked away from me. A few seconds later, I had this screeching sound with my son on the floor. And I'm like, Samuel, get up, stop playing. Samuel, get up, stop playing. And I realized that he was not getting up. So I went to him right there on the floor. I'm going to tell this and then I'm just going to make sure I summarize so I don't take your whole afternoon. because I could be here all day telling the story and bring.
Yeah, we're gonna make it so fast.
Yes. So all of that happened, but picked up my son from the floor, and I could see blood everywhere, eyeballs in my hand, and the Holy Spirit took over from there. Was airlifted to the nearest trauma center, and my daughter and I got there, and we were met by clergymen and the trauma physicians saying it does not look good. Immediately, faith kicked in. I'm like, you don't know who you have in your possession. His middle name is Miracle. You need to go in there and save my son. And that's what they did. So what happened with that? It's prayer. It's not just medical intervention. It's God's intervention. So when you are met with a lot of darkness, a lot of medical impossibilities, and you just listen to medical excuses, to medical information, you need to counter it by the faith that's on the inside of you. I had to drive a lot of physicians out of my son's room saying, you don't speak negative over my son while he was on ventilator. And I know that worked. So through prayer, the church prayer, intercessors prayer, I know what God did for my son and myself. Yes, we went through a lot with rehabilitation and all that. But today, my son that was not supposed to either walk or make it or do anything, he is 21 years old right now, a college student, walking, seeing, talking, and everything that medical said that wasn't going to happen, he has overcome them. So I just thank God. So if you are a mom today or a dad, single, and you're met with all these responsibilities, you had to quit your job because of your child. You had to give up 6-figure salaries because of your child. You have to walk away for something that you've been planning all of your life so that you can take care of that child or take care of that family member. I would do it again. You go ahead and do what you have to do, because we have a God that is a prayer answering God. I don't believe that what the doctors call unexpected situation, unexpected outcomes, I call them miracle. So if you are in that position today, know that God is still writing your story. So hold on to faith, hold on to courage, hold on to endurance, hold on to that power that's inside of you, because God is still writing your story. He can do the impossible. So go today. Just know that God is in full control, and He will take care of you. He take care of all your needs while you're waiting for that miracle to happen. So never, 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 never be discouraged. Take courage. Do what God has told you to do. Say, hold on to faith. I'm going to have to read this because I don't want to miss that. Love without fear and without limits. Quitting is not an option for you, and believe that your light will shine again. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you, Abby. That was so short and profound. Thank you. And Abby has given us so much, and we're so happy that her son is doing so well. Isn't God a miracle worker?
Yes, He is.
Yes, I think we got to give it up for God, because He is. He works miracles in our lives every day, all day. Thank you, Abby. So next, I want to bring on Robin. Robin, introduction part, I have to skip it. So you could have to introduce your story.
Diane, 1 second.
Yes.
Let Kim first, because she has to leave in 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. Bring on Kimberly Jordan. Okay. So Kim, introduce your chapter and tell us why we should read your chapter. Where is Kim?
I'm right here.
Right. Hey.
Hi. Thanks for letting me go first. Sorry, Robin, I stepped in front of you. Give me a little bit more breathing time. Yeah, I'll make this short and sweet. Back when I was working as a nurse, I gave my all. I reached burnout on the floor working as a nurse, and later in life, I got through that. Later in life, I ran into burnout in business. And because of this, I have created a system called Pattern Smart Systems. And I think today is not only about celebrating this book that we have written, but it's also about our obedience to our calling and stewarding what we have. And a lot of people enter into entrepreneurship and they get into it and there's just so much chaos. There's just so many things coming at you. You learning how to run systems and business and sending the emails and the social media. And Jim showed us some great points about how to discover how we can create the social media. And yeah, we want to pattern it. He showed us how to pattern it. That's great. Life is about patterns and we want to pattern smart. So what I've created with Pattern Smart Systems is we do an audit for your business. And instead of you not knowing what to tell your VA what to do or your helper or you to create, it gives you a guideline. And so I'm here to help you out. In the book, I have a QR code you can look at there, and please just delve in, get our resources. We have a lot available. And currently working with Diane and Olga and evaluating their business right now on an audit, and so excited to do it. And gals, I'm so excited for you because when you have so many people who want to come into your room and speak, this is awesome. I'm so excited for you because you had Dr. Forbes Riley, you had Jim, you had all of these people want this space. And you are such a blessing to all of us. Thank you. Have a
Well,
blessed
thank you,
day,
Kim.
everyone.
I
Yeah.
appreciate you. Listen. I know that I appreciate them so much. They are blessing us. I think they can do well without this space. They do well, but I appreciate them. But thank you for saying that. So next we're gonna bring Olga. Did you
Diane,
say?
one sec. Let's do the bill for that free audit.
Oh yes, yes.
Monica Gray.
Monica
Is
Gray.
it Chris's sister? Is she here? Monica?
Okay, spin the wheel.
Just follow the because I cannot look at so many.
Yeah, go ahead.
She's iPhone 8, so she's here. Monica is here, so it's Monica.
Okay, and here we go. We have Pamela Elsie. I don't know if Pam is here. Pam is Mike Transit.
Kim, are you offering the second gift or no? Yes, so then Pamela is going to win a $50 Starbucks gift card, I guess, right?
Is Pam here? Pam, are you here? If you're here, say type yes in the chat or put your physical hand up.
No?
Nope. Okay. Next. That's a nice gift too. $50 Starbucks card. Ooh. Woo-hoo.
Did we have Lila already?
Layla, I say that. Yep, that name came up before. I see Apple. Who hands up? Apple iPhone 8. Who is that?
No, that's Monica.
Oh, okay. Okay. Fin wheel.
No. Okay, we already had Sel.
Sel, yeah, we already had Sel. Ooh,
Guys, you're so lucky. Out of so many people, you're getting Sandy Lynn.
Sandy Lynn was here. Is Sandy Lynn still here?
Sandy Lynn?
Sandy, can you confirm if Sandy Lynn is still here? Okay, maybe not. Spin wheel.
Ay.
Yeah, because what happened, you kind of running over time.
Exactly, yeah.
So sorry. Please give us some grace.
Sandra Smith, she's here.
Sandra Smith, we know is here. Sandra Smith, you got a $50 Starbucks card. Congratulations to Sandra. Okay. So, Robin, are you ready? Yes, Robin is ready. Robin, unmute yourself. Robin, you don't have to rush if you want to.
Glory to the rescue. Yes.
Right.
There we go. Good morning and good afternoon and good night, wherever we're at. So my chapter involves PTSD, little blessings, and what service will really do for you to help save your life. I've lived two lives in my life. One you don't know about, the other one I told you a little bit about in the story. And I learned about gratitude, love, and healing. And I am worth saving. You're worth saving. And I do have a life worth living and things to do. So I'm going to make it short too, so we can get some more folks on, but I've got my email address on the back of the chapter. If you read it and it touches you, if you feel like you need to reach out, reach out. If you need help, don't be like me and pretend that you're just tough and cool and it'll go away on its own, because it doesn't. I can promise you. So I've seen both sides of it. I've lived both sides of it. And in my chapter, I tell a few stories about how I was saved, and the young lady that you all know to be my wife that have met her is my angel. So thank you for the opportunity I've had to be in this book. And I hope it helps somebody out. Like I say, my email's at the end. If you feel like maybe I could help you, or you just need somebody to talk to, please don't be shy. I'm there to help. Thank you. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you, Robin. Robin, you made that so short.
And Robin is also in a 30 minutes coaching session as well, right?
Yes.
So let's do that. Marisa Mason Smith, and you're here, right?
Is Marisa still here?
Marisa? Marisa? No? No.
Okay, probably not. But she said she had to leave early. Okay. So while we do that, the next person we have on deck is Dawn, and after Dawn, we have Christy. Tracy Covington. Ooh, another one of my transit buddies. Tracy, are you here? Pam missed hers. I don't want you to miss yours. Tracy,
Yes, no?
going once, no? Spin the wheel. Again?
I think we had that name, right?
3 times. This is the third one.
Oh my
Spin.
goodness. You have to buy a lottery ticket or something today. Ala Alansari.
Yeah, going once. Going twice.
Yes, Salsabila, is she here?
Okay, yes, no, go ahead, spin.
George Wilson.
Okay, is George here? No? Okay, spin.
Allah is here, she says.
All right.
Okay,
Okay, good. Perfect.
then let's.
Let's go on to Dawn. Is Dawn ready? Dawn, are you ready? No, Dawn.
Dawn, you're muted. Yes.
Okay. You're going to pass the torch to you, Dawn. Introduce yourself and tell us about your chapter.
I just lost you. There I am. Hello, I'm so glad to be here. It's been so unbelievable listening to everyone, and of course, Forbes was excellent. So, hello, I'm Dawn Austin. I currently live in London, and I coach Christian women that are 30 plus. My chapter is about making it count, and that understanding that where you are right now, despite the journey that you've been on, is where you're supposed to be, and to have gained many lessons and strategies as you've walked that journey, because I haven't got the perfect story, but it's the journey that many people will recognize. I heard Diane share some of her story earlier about her job, and that if she hadn't left it, even though there was disappointment there at the time, that what she'd gained as part of that experience may not have happened. And so I'm all about taking a small step, celebrating the small wins, and counting every part of the journey. And I learnt this from my first mission trip to South Africa many years ago. And I was so unprepared, I was so unqualified. But I got there thinking that I was going to do some kind of admin role that I could control. And then after after I jumped out of the truck that had taken 1,000 journeys, I turned around and there was a sea of 250 needful faces in front of me. And the senior pastor said, "Come on, Dawn." And I was just like, "Oh my gosh, what am I going to do here?" So I heard the Lord, and, as I just whispered, "Yes, okay, yes, Lord," I stepped into that. And so it's that yes that gets us to do it anyway, to be afraid, but do it anyway, because we can. And I was looking at my chapter, and I just want to read a couple of paragraphs from that, because it's about looking back and deciding, and my battery's decided that this is when it's going to shut down on me. So the paragraph says that when I look back at my life from a rural South American village to single motherhood and to international stages, mission schools, and unexpected career doors, I see a pattern. I see that every limit that I've climbed, every imperfect step that I've taken, every yes that was whispered in the middle of uncertainty has led me to be here, because I'm not making it up. I'm making it count. And you can too. You can stand in the midst of whatever it is and say, "This counts for me," because every heartbreak, every detour, every not yet counts in your life. And in the not yet, the dreams that have not manifested yet, the prayers that have not manifested yet, God is still working in the not yet, because the not yet is not punishment. It's something that's been worked at when we're worked at, when God's working it out for us, but he's working on character, and he's working at the right time to present that when we can handle it. So it's not that it's not going to manifest. It is, because promises are going to be fulfilled. And we may feel unqualified right where we are. We may feel the sting of past failures or the weight of present struggles, but your story still has value. Your limits are not your destiny, and your purpose will meet you in motion, not waiting for perfection. But we can get paralyzed waiting, paralyzed by fear. That's normal. But we don't have to stay there after the moment, after the time that we've taken to gather our senses. We carry on and we exercise wisdom, even in the fear, and so that we're able to walk it out and to say that this will count for us. This is going to count. You know, the unexpected divorce, the loneliness, whatever it is, that you suddenly caught yourself in. It's going to work, and it's going to work out because you're going to make it count. The mess, hallelujah. I heard Forbes say that the mess, her goal was bigger than the mess, but the mess is small compared to your destiny and what it is that you're heading for. So that's what we're heading for, and that's what we're going to make count every single moment. And we're blessed in the failures and we're blessed in the good things. So we just have to accept where it's going to catapult us to. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dawn, so much. That was so crisp. Thank you so much. Yes, we are blessed in every moment. So I know, what else we have, Olga? Next we have, okay, let me share the deck, okay? So we have Christy coming up next. And following Christy, we have Sandra Maven Smith. And after Sandra, it's Salsabila, Sandy, and Jenny. So bear with us. We got 5 more, and then it's a wrap. Okay, and then we have a little bit of extra something, more gifts and a little extra something to share. So, Christy, are you ready?
I am, yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Diane?
Loud and clear.
Great, thank you. Okay, so yes, it's such a privilege to be part of this book, and the fact that Dr. Forbes Riley was on today, we were really, really fortunate to have her. And I've changed my introduction in the light of what she said, and I'm going to go to her Pitching Secrets masterclass. So I've now written down that if you're dealing with health issues or emotional issues or overwhelm, then my chapter will empower you to take action. Because I talk about the fact that when I was dealing with emotional eating, and it was very reassuring to hear that years ago, Dr. Forbes Riley dealt with that as well. So it is possible to overcome it. When I was dealing with it, I tried all sorts of things, and I tried to exercise more, tried so many different diets and ways of eating, and I just became overwhelmed by everything. But my chapter is entitled Flourish Focus, 3 Core Habits for Lifelong Health and Emotional Freedom. And like one of the other, like Robin, I'm not going to be too long because I'm conscious that we have 5 more people. And like Robin, I'll point you to my email address at the back of the book. So if you do want to find out more, you can contact me by email. But what I found was that it's not about doing more when you want to achieve lasting transformation. It's about doing way, way less. And actually, if you can have 3 priorities, just narrow it down to 3. That's how I eventually overcame emotional eating for emotional purposes, and also many other things in my life, just by simplifying and doing way, way less. So I'll let you read about that in the chapter. And as I said, it's just so great to be a part of this. And thank you so much, Olga and Diane, for organizing everything.
Thank you, Christy. Thank you so much. And I know, Olga, anything that we're missing? So as we move forward with this, okay. So next on deck, we have Sandra Maven Smith. Sandra, are you ready?
Thank you, Diane, and thank you, Olga, for the opportunity. And it was so beautiful to listen to Dr. Forbes Riley and Jim Harrington. But before you listen, I just want to share. My name is Sandra Maven Smith, and I'm known as the Thoughtful Creator. Because my story isn't just about loving change. It's about choosing growth. Even when change in of itself feels uncomfortable, I just want to play a quick clip.
I want you to picture something for a second. Close your eyes if you can. I want you to imagine the specific tactile joy of using a really, really good ink pen.
Oh, yeah.
You know the kind I'm talking about. It's got a bit of weight to it, the barrel is cool to the touch, and the ink just flows.
It's a very grounding feeling. It feels like competence, you know?
Yes.
You're literally making your mark on the world, and you can see it happening in real time.
Exactly. It's competence made physical. Now imagine someone walks into your office, takes that pen out of your hand.
Oh, no.
Snaps it in half and drops a beige box on your desk that hums aggressively. And they just say, good luck, figure this out or you're obsolete.
That's the stuff of nightmares for most people. It's not just an inconvenience. It feels like an erasure.
And that is exactly where we're starting today. We are unpacking this massive, often overwhelming topic of AI-driven growth.
So that was just a clip. So I shared my story within the book because for a long time, I believed change was something happening to me rather than something I could shape. So I'd spent over 30 years in the public sector. And when systems and technologies began to change, I resisted it. I was good at what I did. I liked what I did. And like some people who may be experiencing change now, I was afraid of losing certainty and relevance. What actually shifted for me, and I speak about it within the book, is realizing that resisting change in of itself doesn't stop it. It just keeps you stuck. Growth, on the other hand, is a choice. Change is going to happen, and it's going to happen anyway. But whether you grow through it, that is optional. So I shared my story to remind people that feeling uncomfortable doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're standing at the edge of your next chapter. So my hope is that as you read my chapter, you stop seeing change as a threat and you start seeing it as innovation. You do not have to leap, but you do have to move. Thank you very much for allowing me to share, to add to the anthology, and just to speak with you this afternoon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sandra. And what I heard from that is action. Sandra, isn't that your word for this year? Action? Okay, that's what I heard. Action. Okay, who's ready for some action? Okay, we're gonna, yes. So, Olga, do we have a spin the wheel or do we have a next, bring up the next speaker?
We do have a spill wheel because Sandra is offering a session up to 90 minutes to talk about AI, I believe, right, Sandra?
How to implement AI in their change.
Sandra, you can unmute yourself and talk about that while I'm spinning.
Yeah, because some of us are frightened of the change. We think about AI and we think about what can it do for me. So I'm happy to sit down with you and we can work out where you can best utilize AI. Jim spoke about AI. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it because it can allow you and give you some freedom, give you some time back.
Awesome. Menal Nasa.
Are you here?
Are you here? Okay, maybe not. Spin the wheel.
Hillary, no.
Jen.
That's our.
This is our
He's
video.
not here.
Spin, yeah. Okay, so while we're spinning the wheel.
He was here. He should be here.
Clay, don't learn about AI? All right. Is Clay still here, Jenny? So while we're figuring out who's going to win this next prize, the next on deck we have Salsabila, Sandy Austin, and Jen.
Okay, so let's go to Salsabila. Sally, unmute yourself. Yes.
Thank you. Hello. Okay, should I start?
Yes.
Yes, it's all good. We can hear you.
All right. Thank you so much. And lovely being here. And this is just so awesome and impactful. I want to thank all the people who are here today. And let me just go ahead and start. And just with one question. Have you ever been surrounded with lots of people and yet felt alone? Can I see a show of hands? Have you ever felt unseen despite your success? This story is for you. Because one of the most powerful moments in my life started with these three words. Table for one. Table for one, please. My name is Salsabila Al-Harbi. I help achievers move from invisible to irreplaceable. I work with people who give, perform, over-deliver, yet still wonder, why am I still unseen? That question is why I wrote this chapter. Have you ever walked into a restaurant and the waiter asks you, table for how many? And maybe you shrink and say, table for one, please. And this answer was my situation for many, many years. I was actually the girl who sat alone at recess, the achiever who carried everything alone, surrounded by people, yet deeply alone. For a long time, a table for one felt like rejection. Until one moment, I share in the book, in the chapter. That moment, that story changed everything. And I then realized that aloneness is not loneliness. Being alone does not mean you're lonely. It does not dictate that you are lonely. Loneliness is actually emptiness, while aloneness is power. Aloneness is discovering yourself. It's the space where you discover who you are and what you bring, and who truly deserve a seat at your own table. The table for one is for women, for achievers and givers who are ready to stop shrinking and start choosing themselves. Because when you become irreplaceable, you do not beg for belonging. You decide who belongs to sit on your table. I don't help people find seats, by the way. I help them own their own table. When you know your value, solitude becomes power. And that's what my chapter is about. I traveled to the US for my first time as an adult many years back with one coworker, a friend. And I depended on our connection to support each other, to only be surprised that she had her own plans and without any, against all of our plans and everything, he left me alone in a hotel room, broken, not knowing anyone, totally felt just totally alone. No support, no one to go to, nowhere to go to. I was afraid, I was still young, and no connections. And that time, that moment dictated that I'm not going to be alone, even if I'm alone. I'm not going to be lonely. I will learn how to make connections. I will learn how to connect with other people. Maybe I have very few real friends, but I can make friends in connection with everyone. I have a community. I have people here that I love. I learned how aloneness is not loneliness. And it's how I was able to discover my power. And I believe that through this chapter, every one of you will have this space to ask yourself the question, where is my power? When did I feel alone? When did I feel lonely? Where can I make my own space to own my own table? And I will allow only those who I choose to sit on my table, sit on my table. So now, if I go to a restaurant alone and they ask me, how many? I proudly say, table for one, please. This chapter for you, if you feel lonely. So I want to thank everyone. My email is in the chapter, at the end of my chapter. And I just want to thank Diane and Olga for this amazing work and for pursuing their passion and for making a little that we just saw, like a little idea, become a big platform and a dream. And I can see it going bigger and bigger. Thanks for having Forbes today. This is amazing. Thanks for the forward by Les Brown, my favorite. And it's like, thank you for everything. Thanks for the amazing community and the great authors. Thanks for the people who asked questions and made all the difference. Like Queenie, thank you for your question. Many people just struggling to ask that question. Thank you. Everyone who asked, thank you. Every question was so valuable. I really thank everyone. And I just want to thank all my friends and all my community. I begged to be here. I said, Forbes heard me begging. She would pity me and give me the pitch course for free because I didn't pitch, I begged actually. So I thank all my people who are here. And I just want to also give just a little prayer for my friend Najah and her father. I hope he gets well. She couldn't speak today, but she's with us here and listening in. And she thanks everyone as well. And she had a great story to share. So just, the book is worth it. The stories are worth it. We put and poured our hearts into this. I want to thank everyone else and have a great day.
Thank you, Sally. Thank you so much. Sally, as usual, you really bring it. I love Table for One. And I have a story behind it, but now we're running out of time, so I can't share too much on that. But I connected with a friend just by sharing your story, Table for One. And that's me also. I'm also Table for One whenever I go to the restaurant at the moment, but I'm not lonely. So let's bring to the next. Who's next? Who's on deck next? We have is it Sandy? Yes, we got Sandy. Sandy, are you ready?
I am ready.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you so much, you guys. Screaming sirens, flashing lights, yellow crime tape. Nothing could have prepared me for what I was about to face with the Columbine school shooting tragedy. Hi, my name is Sandy Austin, and I'm known as the Kids Empowerment Champion because as someone who has counseled students of 5 school shooting tragedies and then 4 suicides at my own school, I started a school club 21 years ago called the Bionic Team. Believe it or not, I care, to empower kids, to reach out to struggling peers, to let them know they are seen, they matter, and they are not alone. The club empowers kids worldwide with life skills to reach out to struggling peers who are new, sick, hospitalized, bullied, or lose loved ones, to let them know they are seen, they matter, and they are not alone. In talking to elementary kids about our bully prevention program, I said, my generation has failed you because bullying was around when I was in school and even in my parents' schools. Right then, a 9-year-old said, Miss Austin, maybe our generation can be the generation to stop bullying once and for all. Yes, I love that. Bionic is now a nonprofit that has been in over 150 schools worldwide. A Bionic alum stopped by to see me during her spring break in college. She said, Miss Austin, you know what I learned from Bionic? There was a girl on my floor in my dorm in college who lost a loved one. Everyone was avoiding her because they didn't know what to say. So I went up and I bought a Snickers candy bar and I wrote out an index card and note and went up to her and said, I heard you lost a loved one. I know it can be tough and just want to let you know I'm thinking of you. The girl said, thank you. You are the first person that's talked to me in a week. And I've been so lonely. Being from Kansas, it has been very difficult. I was even starting to think about suicide. Thank you. I'm going to be okay now. The oldest alumni who have been in my bionic teams are now 41 years old. And they're saying, Miss Austin, my business needs a bionic team because we have employees who are new, sick, hospitalized, or lose loved ones. And they need to know that people care too. Diane and Olga, it's such a privilege to be in this book. In my chapter, Believe It or Not, You Matter, how a culture of caring transforms schools, workplaces, and businesses. It can escalate the caring movement started by these kids in schools through you in churches and businesses and in communities too, in a great way to impact this world. Do you want to join us? We have a caring culture tip sheet to find out more information. Go to giftfromsandy.com. Giftfromsandy.com.
Wow. Great gift from Sandy. That's gifts with an S, Sandy?
No, gift. One gift.
Gift.
Lots of gifts come with it, but on this first one, we just give you a little teaser. Giftfromsandy.com.
Okay.
And Sandy is offering a 20-minute one-on-one call with you, focused specifically on how to create a more caring climate in your own realm of influence. So let's see who the lucky winner is.
And this is really great, especially for teachers and coaches, or anyone who wants to bring bionic to their location. This is a great opportunity to chat with Sally about that. Dr. Latifa. Is Dr. Latifa here?
You have to be very, very fast right now to respond in the chat and say you're here.
Okay. All right, spin the wheel.
No? Heather Mills?
Heather Mills. Heather, I know she said she wouldn't be able to stay to the end. I don't think she said she's going to do the early part. Spin the wheel.
Oh, Heather is here.
Heather's here?
Heather,
okay. Hey, Heather, congrats, Heather. We love Heather. Heather been around for a long time. Thank you. So next on deck, and I think last but not least, and thank you guys for your grace, we have my dear friend and Guru's sister, Jennifer Taramo. We call her Jenny. Thank you, Jenny. The floor is yours.
Hello. Thank you, Diane, for having me on. And happy birthday, Olga.
Thank you.
So many great comments today, and so many things that tied in also with my chapter. My chapter 24, The Sacred Power of the Pause, Why Taking a Break Matters. Short but sweet, and hopefully if you get a chance to read it, you'll feel that it is a powerful chapter, because in the world that we are in now, I think we see everybody is just go, 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 work, 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 and people don't want to take a pause because it seems like an act of laziness, and you have guilt put upon you if you're not putting it upon yourself. And it seems like we end up bringing upon ourselves a lot of illnesses physically, mentally, and spiritually because of it. But we weren't meant to just run on and on endlessly. And we were actually divinely inspired to have breaks. God set the example by taking a break on the seventh day of creation and told his followers to have a Sabbath. And in all of nature and everything, we see breaks in the heartbeat, in music, in life, in everything. We're supposed to have breaks. So basically, my chapter, in a nutshell, is going to talk about the importance of breaks throughout life and pausing, and how you can benefit your life in every single way by instilling habits in each part of your life, whatever's going to work for you, long, short, and making yourself restore, recharge, breathe, refill yourself so that you can be your healthiest in mind, body, and spirit. So read my chapter.
Jenny just thumbs up. She said, read my chapter. And so now Jenny has a gift. So we have a spin the wheel.
Oh, right.
We have two gifts. We have a gift from Jenny, and a Jim just put a great gift on the table. So we have that to spin for as well.
My chapter is it's a recharging gift.
Sarah Abdullah. Is Sarah here? No? Okay, spin the wheel. Teresa Blackwood. I know I saw Teresa on a little while ago. I saw her on screen. Teresa, are you still here? This is my transit buddy. Is Teresa still here? Teresa, say yeah. Teresa, are you here? This is a great gift, Teresa. Oh gosh, I know it's a great gift. So Teresa is not here, so let's spin the wheel.
Her name is actually in the on the list of participants. She's here.
She's here? Okay.
She's here. There you
Okay.
go.
All right. Thank you, Teresa. I'm here. She said me here. Okay, I get that. Me here. So this is for Jim.
So now announce what Jim's gift is.
Okay, so is Jim here?
Jim is here.
Okay, so Jim, can you tell us a little bit about your gift while we Jennifer Taylor. Jennifer Taylor won your gift. Jim, tell her what you won.
Hold on. Let me find Jim.
Jennifer Taylor?
Jennifer Taylor, are you here?
She is. She just messaged me. I don't know.
Okay, so Jim, you can tell us what they're going to be winning, Jim, and then we're going to close out.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I decided with everybody adding all this extra value, I thought, well, I got to jump in here too. So what I've done is I've offered a 45-minute strategy call, and so these are calls that I do with people where we look at your business, we look at where you're going, how you want to get there, and all those wonderful things, and we come up with a plan. So by the time you've done, you'll have some clarity, you'll have some direction, you'll have some actionable steps to move forward with. And then I also gave another gift about my 5 laws around how to build a business and so on. So I offered that for everyone. So there you go.
All right. Thank you, Jim.
I don't think we have Derek unless I am.
Derek Dallas. Okay. And this is for Jim's gift, right?
Yes.
Okay. Spin. Okay, guys. So just to tell you a little bit about this strategic call that Jim gives. Jim planted the seed about me doing these anthologies. I had reached out to him and he says, Tracy Covington, Tracy again, Tracy, these days coming up again. And Jim said, why don't you do anthologies? You can transcribe their talks and put in a book. So here we are,
Jennifer Taylor.
2 anthologies in less than a year. Who you said, Olga?
Jennifer Taylor. She says she just messaged. She's here, so she's webinar now.
Okay, she wins Jim's prize.
Yes.
Jennifer, great prize. Okay, so thank you guys for your grace. and for hanging in there with us. Teresa, you won your prize. I'm so you got a good one, girl. You got a good one. And yes, I just want to thank you. And Olga, I know we're so short on time. We know we listen. Gave everyone a chance to share. Our next Ascend Your Path is going to be February the 28th. And I think we're going to take that one, Olga, to kind of talk about what.
I'll be on the
Who's
second.
that?
What?
Queen. Hold on a second. Who said hold on a second? Hey, Queenie. Go ahead.
Hi, I was just gonna say, first, thank you for everyone, and thank you, Olga, Diane. Happy birthday, Olga. And I just only wanted to say that we all have our story, and everyone's story didn't start from victory. And I just like to say today, we're celebrating and honor your journey, wear your history with pride. And my topic was wounded heart with a wisdom heart. And because a wounded heart is simply a heart that is being prepared to lead with wisdom, I call it as a sacred transformation. It's always not difficult, but that's why we're all here together to share and to support each other. That's all. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Queenie. I'm so sorry, Queenie. If you wish you had messaged me to say you're gonna speak, but I know you said you couldn't speak because of your voice and what your challenge you're going through. But I really appreciate that you said, okay, I'm gonna top it out and go through with this. So thank you. So yes. So next one is February 28th. And as for the speakers, I think we're gonna set out on a journey. So now what's gonna happen? I think February the 5th, we're gonna do Ascend Your Voice intro with Millie, which is gonna be 1 hour, and that's gonna be $27. All of the yeses, I'm gonna be sending you a link. Okay, I'm gonna send the email out. You don't want to miss that because that's gonna set you up for for Millie's Ascend Your Path voice training. Okay, you're gonna get a lot out of that. And the two people that won, you're gonna get your information on that as well. So I think it's February the 5th, 6 p.m. to 7. It's a Thursday night. And I'm excited to see you there. Okay, so thank you all for joining. Any last words, Olga, or anyone has any last words?
If you have any last
Something.
word, just raise your hand because I have to unmute you. Although I can, hold on, let me just do that. So you could.
Everybody can say
Yeah.
bye. Yes.
Here you go. Now you
Okay.
can unmute yourselves on your own.
And share. Okay, anyone
And
have the
share
last
whatever.
year?
My last year, I forgot to mention my foundation because I was trying to make sure I go swiftly so everybody can come in. Yeah. What my pain and what my victory and my testimony is about, it's Reach Out and Touchlight Foundation. It's a foundation that's geared towards me providing affordable housing to unique type of individuals that's coming out of foster care from the justice system, from like single distressed parents. It doesn't have to be just the mom because we also have distressed fathers. So this home will be catering to this type of individuals as a transitional home for them to get themselves together while they go back into our communities independently and financially able.
That's a huge foundation, Abby. Thank you. You and Chris. You guys are aligning over here. This is great. Does anyone else have any final word? Except that we hope you join our Send Your Voice and our next retreat that's coming up. We're 50% full, so I wish we had chance to. Olga, is it possible to share a little clip of the video, maybe something from our landing page, maybe that last video
From
about
Millie?
Verdisana.
Millie? Are you talking about Millie?
Verdisana.
Verdisana.
The last video in the landing page. Is that possible?
Yes. Yes.
So we just wanted to share, we had such an amazing time at Verdisana. Our retreat Ascend to Purpose. And it's backed by demand, public demand. And this one is called Retreat Mind, Body, and Soul. It's May. Ascend. Ooh, I go back to that. Ascend Mind, Body, and Soul. May the 2nd to the 7th in Costa Rica. We had such a place is so blessed. And this video just speaks for itself. And for anyone who's interested, we get a little ways out there, and a lot of you was at that retreat. A few of you was at that retreat, and we're excited to have you join us on this next final retreat. So as we close up, we're going to close up with this retreat about what to experience at Veridasana, and you're going to learn more about our voice, ascend your voice training. The volume is off.
I know, because you're speaking. So
Okay.
It's my computer.
Can you turn the volume on?
World's first fully regenerated luxury eco chalets. That means that the land that you're on and the land everywhere you're looking right now has been healed. This was the pillaged cow pasture. And he said, I want to restore the land back to its natural beauty. And he would plant trees to try to heal the land. And they would die because the land was pillaged. 10 years he never stopped. And eventually he found what would work, a Guatemalan cypress tree. And it's so reflective of how Costa Rica works, the meeting place of cultures and peoples and ideas, because that foreign tree came here and started to heal the land. The foreign people that come here with the locals are here now on retreat, healing humanity's heart and reconnecting its heart with its head.
This video alone is so powerful. And this is why we love Veridasana so much. And this is why we had
The sense that you've stepped into a fairy tale.
Okay. Yes. And this is why we had several people say, I'm back. I'm giving you my deposit before we even had a date. Okay. So I just want to say I look forward to sharing again next February. I look forward to you guys. I have to figure out how we're gonna do this book signing with Forbes, and for all of the stuff that we promoted, take advantage of it. And for us the people who will be joining us tomorrow morning with Jim, again, I'll say Jim is gonna be praying over us tomorrow. Pastor Jim Hedrington. He's put on his pastor hat from 8 until 8:30. Okay, you can use the same link to join. And join us tomorrow. Those of us who's in the Northeast area, we're gonna be snowed in. We ain't going nowhere. Okay? So we can join in here from Jim, and he's gonna pray over us. So many of us are suffering illnesses. Our family is battling with drugs and alcohol, including my son, and ailments. So yes, join us tomorrow at 8. Use the same link that you used today to join tomorrow. It's Eastern Standard Time. I see, we got a hand up? Hi. I know the name is not coming to me, because you know, but I know who it is. And unmute your organ.
Hi, Diane, it's Wendy.
Hey, Wendy, yes.
Okay, hi to everyone. It was quite an inspiration with your Zoom this meeting today. Sandy, I got a lot of teachers referrals, so if you could connect with me, that would be a great referral for April. So that would be nice to get my number or my email and communicate with me for referrals. We have a few new kits coming up. So we can refer you in the educational board and we can send it in ASAP for interviews, preparation. For all the wonderful women sharing their stories, I hope you all the best. And I'm just reconnecting. So a lot's still going on, but I'm getting there slowly. Right about now, waiting for the winter snowstorm. Tomorrow. I hope maybe tomorrow we'll get at least some warming more stories from you all.
Thank you,
But it's
Wendy.
been an inspiration and I did learn a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Sandy, we have Wendy's information. We'll share it with
Yes.
you. Okay? Thank
My
you.
phone number, my email, and it's all open.
All
Thank
right,
you,
bye.
Wendy. Bless you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.